What about a Matumba Brute Mother right here against an Invoker?
Just straight up the Invoker.
Yeah, just
straight up.
Except VP would have to run like or something.
Yeah, but then you have like an offlane Invoker or something. Yeah, you don't want to do that. That's the problem with Invoker. If you ever face Brute, you have to actually face the lane. Because side lane Invoker is just weak.
Well, we're going to find out.
They go for the TA.
Yeah, the TA, the classic counter. So yeah, and there are so many of the heroes that like used to counter TA. Like Viper's a really good example. That's such a trap pick to me right now because you draft Viper for the Viper TA matchup, and Viper's actually a pretty weak laner right now, or at least not the lane dominating force he once was.
The problem with Viper is you just get out-denied, honestly.
Right.
You have no damage elasted anymore. The Nether Toxin was so important to your kid back then. Now you're just a lane bully.
Now, VP, the way they've set up this draft is they're trying to give Ramses.
Yes.
Because Liquid here are going to have to. I don't think they wanted to do this. They wanted to be able to see what that safe lane was first.
Yeah.
Because now they have to pick their off laner. I feel like they do need sort of an aggressive theater. Liquid's lineup is to really over. VP. Yeah, the Doom, I guess.
There might be a VP gyrocopter coming in, creating space for the Invoker, and the Alacrity gyrocopter is very strong against the Visage as well. And you can chew through that refraction really quickly with the Rocket Barrage.
It's a danger of picking like you can't Axe or some very lane off laner. All of a sudden you're facing a Gyro or a safe lane Venomancer, and you don't get that strong lane to get, and you fall apart in corner.
Yeah, you probably don't look at like a very greedy core like a Luna. Luna Invoker works. If you ever get to mid-late game, you completely destroy them. But getting there is the hard part.
Remember, though, that VP does run a number of the traditional off-lane heroes in the safe lane role. They will run the Omni Knight, the Doom, which is probably why the Doom gets run in the safe lane role by them, as well as Liquid showed Miracle on it in the last tournament.
Probably the most traditional one right now, for me at least, would be the Gyrocopter.
Perfect.
Ooh, Darkseer.
Yeah.
Darkseer and Naga, dual lane is insane.
Lane shove, team fight. It's, man, this is a really nice draft by Kuro. And Solo has, I can't emphasize enough Solo. I guess Ramses is now doing the drafting in theory, but I'd imagine everybody has input. DP has been the best 10th pick team this DPC season by far.
So Faces Void or Gyrocopter?
Oh, he can't pick Void into Naga. That's...
It has happened before and it was okay. Ish.
I'm always I thought of the Void like that's doubling down on team fight for VP, but that Chrono just feels really, really weak against the song.
Do you not like the
of course Venomancer? No, of course Venom would be like more a VP like special.
Yeah.
Or the Liquid also really likes it, but like if you look at a more standard draft, it would be like a Gyro or like a Void, not like a carry hero. Can like transition into late game well. Juggernaut.
Jug, all right. Tempo.
Yep. Pretty much like Gyrocopter.
The slowness of that Invoker. Yep.
One of his biggest problems is damage in the mid game, and the Alacrity provides that for you.
But you do have, like, you can't just spin and go for TP.
Right.
There's Lockdown, the Naga's Tyrant. You have Visage Familiar that your Omni Slash as well as the...
and you can't man-fight TA.
TA minus
TA
armor
will just blow you up.
It's really hard to play. They wanted just some sort of, like, why do you think they didn't go for Gyro? Because they did need something that was just aggressive, and Jug fills that role.
I think just because of the lane. Like, Darkseer does not lane very well against Jug because you have the healing ward, you can just sustain yourself, and Gyro will feel very pressured, but I think mid-late game, a Gyro will be way better than a Juggernaut.
It's also damage type distribution. They need physical damage, and they need it early.
All right, it's only the third Juggernaut pick of the game. Of
tournament.
The tournament, sorry.
What are the stats on that?
Is that 50%? So played 2, 1-1, lost 1. Alan?
It's tough when VP's red hot, but I think Liquid's got the better draft. They'll draw first blood in the series.
Okay, Black?
Yeah, I think I'll have to go VP the first game too. Liquid, sorry.
Okay.
Liquid.
Yeah. All right. Okay. Cap.
Oh well, then I'll just start this series off with panels versus Liquid as well.
All right. Let's go.
All right. 3 out of 3 then. They've all agreed here. Very agreeable moves they are as we start things off in the grand final. Game 1. Let's head into the arena with your commentary team to see who comes out on top between VIRTUS.pro and Team Liquid.
You know, I'd love to know the answer to that, who will come out on top, but really, I'm going to love the path, the journey that brings us there, Kyle. I got the matchup that I was kind of looking for, maybe not with the crowd, as, well, no, China in the grand final, but VP and Liquid been playing some amazing Dota throughout this competition.
Yeah, I don't think you can ask for more. Final major of the circuit, Liquid versus VP. Two teams, like, I think their series at this last TI, even though it was, I think, it was like lower bracket round 4, you know, it wasn't even a loser finals or anything. It was still probably the premiere of the entire event. They have a ton of mutual respect, and, I mean...
a ton of mutual respect when the first thing you see written up there in the chat log is along the lines of "only TI winners can talk to you?" And that was from Kuro. That was directed at Kuro, saying "only you can talk to me." They muted everybody else. Solo, little bit of trouble. The double dragon's going to work, but this is not double dragon. This is Dota. And Solo will decide to back off. He's got a lot more friends up on top lane, so let's just get our bearings before we start off. So I always love this double dragon lane from Team Liquid. So it's the Visage plus the Jakiro on top lane from Tumber and Kuro. That goes against the offlane Beastmaster of Pasha, the roaming SK of Roger. Cannot wait to see more of his plays. But Solo in towards the mid. The Bane starting with Miracle and no one going up against each other. And then down at the bottom is the roaming GH. Naga Siren and Ramses and Mind Control wrap up our lanes with the Darkseer versus the Juggernaut. That 5th pick coming in from VP, as we were all questioning, like, what the hell did they get to wrap up their lineup?
Yeah, Jug lanes well against the Darkseer, but...
Solar? He's real careful. He's real fine until he gets hit by Sideblade. And he got the brain sap off, so gets life back.
Yeah, you just don't want to play Jug into Visage or TA. They both output tons of raw physical damage, and your spin is just not very effective. Especially when you consider he's playing against Naga too. It's just very difficult. I like that they put the Bane mid. TA punishes this Invoker really hard if left to just 1v1, but you know, Naga is kind of just here as well. I think TA is less XP dependent than an Invoker.
I can't believe we've actually moved into a dual lane mid. Matumba really low on top, starts to salve up. Pasha's in pretty deep, has his TP of his own. Burrow, no point up in Ice Bar, so he's not going to get away, but it's just his negative armor and Miracle. After he was able to hit level 2 and had Refraction, he's just been trying to pummel into either Solo or no one. Force more support, force more friends. A quick nightmare from Solo. Damn, he's good on this hero. GH turns around. He wants to try and kill off Solo, but with Brain Sap, that's just going to be impossible. Miracle's so low too. They got the Force Spirit working with him. But Miracle's back up the hill and will burn the salve. But first blood to VIRTUS.pro.
Really well played by Solo there. Maybe a slight misplay by GH. A little bloodthirsty early on. Wants to start this series off strong. Part of the strength of Bane and why we see it picked up so often. I mean, look at the base stats. Level 2, he's got 65 damage. No stat items. 5 armor, 7 when he's next to the tower.
Such a comfort hero for a player like Solo. How many times throughout this tournament have we said this Bane nightmares a target and they've instantly forced the enemy team to switch the targets because of it? We saw it used perfectly there. Top lane, ensnare, into Riptide. GH using those early levels with a Soul Assumption damage. They have enough to kill off Pasha. And Roger Burrow strikes forward, so he initiated in. The Team Liquid have no more control to give. So burn down the life on Roger. He'll have to salve that off. Now out of health consumables, but a revenge kill in for Team Liquid.
Down bottom, Mind Control's doing quite well. Difficult for Juggernaut to last in under tower just because there's so much pressure from the Ion Shells, but...
Cole snaps in mid. Miracle. He's getting back underneath the tier 1 town, but they've already got enough damage to kill him. A great ensnare from GH, but here we go again. The Nightmare onto no one. GH should have the physical damage, and yeah, he does. Gets through the Invoker. So more levels, more money in for GH, but Miracle, not the death that he's looking for, because they want to snowball with the TA, right? Like, the TA is meant to get out of control.
Yeah. I think you have a little... You don't have as much pressure in this kind of game because I think that you win team fights as the game continues. You always have that Song Jakiro combo and Visage to apply pressure for you. I think it's one of those rare games where TA isn't forced to just play make. You can kind of just relax, shove lanes, farm some ancient stacks.
Kuro's hurting on top, but he'll be okay. Roger and Pasha was just a Burrow strike into Axis. Both of those at level 2, so both hurting. Quite a fair chunk for a Jakiro.
You can see though, I love the sleep play mid though. You were just talking about it, but VP, these two teams, they make you work for everything. That was one last hit away from just escaping and saving his Invoker. I think that tower shot was really the main reason. I'm surprised they didn't drop aggro.
He's got the instant. Now I'm going to hold him in position. A quick Burrow strike away, and Riptide was still able to connect. But this will make it difficult for Roger to finish what he tried to start doing, but just to pull the creep wave in behind the tower. He went the long way around past the shrine, so really did miss this timing quite heavily. All he can do is actually soak the experience up underneath the tier 2. He can't hold it there, not enough life.
Bit of an understatement. He's almost dead, but I mean, it's fine.
This is a nice way to get through TA, right?
Yeah.
You get the Ice Wall, now you get the Cold Snap, but it's the Nightmare and then the attack, so the defensive refraction charges just taken away from Miracle.
Yep, and that's the big thing is that when you're playing against TA, you want to go for the Forge Spirit build, as you see no one doing. The Ice Wall as well, like you just burn through the refraction, and the amount of pressure you can output just renders them useless. And this is a matchup TA wants to stay ahead of, much like playing against Shadow Fiend. You get to a certain point where you're under-leveled, you don't have the items to continue pressuring, like you're forced to do what no one's doing now, which is just, or sorry, Miracle, just going to the woods.
Nice bounty runes in for Team Liquid, mind control. Just bottling through it all. Now those bounty runes give a full bottle. He just Iron Shell up a Hill Troll Priest, continues to surge around and wasting time of Roger and Solo. Very rarely does this support combination of VP have their time wasted. And then Mind Control just TPs out as well after Iron Shell burning the wave down thanks to the catapult.
I really like what no one did middle as well. Like after he applied all that pressure, he just hard denied. And as you can see, he's just maintaining lane control on his hill. So even though GH is here to soak, it's a lot harder for him to ever secure last hits when he's forced to run up right into the range of no one in order to actually hit a creep.
Is this really what you need to do though? Because like, okay, GH starts to soak, maybe he can start the stacks as well, and that's what Miracle and GH are both doing. It's going to leave top lane a little bit exposed to this smoke gank. Actually, no, it's not. Kuro breaks it already. Puts the Observer Ward down. They get all the information they want. There should be a simple run out. In fact, maybe with the help of GH, they thought they could take a fight for 3 heroes. Pash just moved over. They already set the Brain Sap, and Kuro is the target. He can try and TP out, and actually he can do that if he didn't get hit by the Sunstrike and then the Axe, as Kuro will die. Like, there are no more stuns available with the ensnare that was on Roger, but not enough space.
You're okay with this if you're VP. Obviously, Kuro going down, but he got some cool wards off, both high grounds in this top lane. I think that one should get countered, the one close to the secret shop.
Matumba's on the run again. Stick charge is available. The Sunstrike right on the money. No, this is what he wants to have. Back-to-back kills. Assists at least, with one of them being a kill. Kuro might be able to get a little bit more. Solo in deep. No, of course he can't. Solo's got the Brain Sap. Gets the kill before his own death. But that's both of the dragons to the safe lane of Liquid going down, and this movement of GH not really changing the pace enough for him.
And they really did not want to TP the Darkseer up top either. No one else can really go stand bottom against Jug. He's got ult prepared, already shoving into tower with an Aquila. Like, you have way too many heroes up top now for Liquid. The Visage is not level 6, no HOD either, so it's not as if they can push the tower. And as you can see, they did recognize that Kuro had warded on that high ground, so they get the ward as well. You take that if you're VP.
Well, Nahar's talking about the D-warding that comes out from Team Liquid, but VIRTUS.pro as well. Oh, the rotation's working here against Miracle. The spin from Ramses. Then again, Refraction charges up for Miracle. Solo caught on the wrong side of the river. The TA trap slows him with a little bit of damage, but they have to take the Nightmare off. But it's all a little too late. Liquid scrambling to try and find something here, but it's been very difficult for them.
Yeah. It's so cool watching these teams play, because for a second I thought the Jug was Miracle, because I've seen him make that rotation on Jug so many times. Notably, I think with OG winning a major off of it.
Sunstrike, they're waiting for the perfect control time. Roger, he knew he was low on life, but the Tranquil Boots are coming in, so everything is going to get back anyway. It's just continuous pressure across the map. That's what the Invoker Exort build enables you to do.
Both teams are so good, man. It's just such quality Dota. All these little things. It's impossible to talk about everything when you're just watching a game live, but every time these teams play, I swear there's enough replay review any team could do for like an hour or so. The little things, the warding, the item builds, the efficiencies. I've seen bottles refilled twice already.
We hadn't even kept a closer eye on this guy, like Mind Control. We saw him for half a second. He's been just on that bottom lane farming up. He's at 4.2k net worth. He's actually 400 in front of no one, which is probably going to make this kill worth even more. They rotate in. He did go very, very deep. Mind Control was creep skipping between the tier 2 and tier 3 tower on the bottom lane.
And Kuro said at the start of the game that everyone had muted VP, and if they wanted to talk, they could talk to him. You would think like that might be a joke, but I'm pretty sure it's serious.
Considering all the voice lines that get spammed out, yeah, it actually probably is deadly serious.
Because it's just something that breaks your focus, even if it doesn't tilt you necessarily. VP is really good about ensuring that you know they just killed you. And wow, no one just used his first Midas 9 minutes into the game. Not a bad timing. He's top net worth already.
Yeah. That death of the Darkseer allowed him just to switch places. Top lane took a little bit of harassment. Mind Control's getting back on bottom. He wants the healing ward from Ramses. Mid lane. Meteor drops. Miracle has no real defense, but he's got friends. GH turns around, and that negative armor hitting into no one enables Miracle to get the kill. Solo, they don't really want to chase him much more. Meanwhile, up on top, and it's going to be the trade-off, so Kuro falls, the man taking it for the team, both in voice lines as well as deaths.
The armor is going to be a critical component for any VP team fight victory.
Oh, Omni Slash! There's still not enough damage. That's a level 1, so only 3 hits top lane. That is enough damage. GH will fall.
Yeah. You can see Invoker, when he takes that Melt Strike and the Naga E to the face, that's -6 armor. He's only got 4. So as this game continues, Visage is going to have a Medallion, then a Solar Crest. You're going to have TA with the Deso. You're going to need to maintain your armor, and it's going to be very important for no one to either watch his positioning or itemize for a Shiva's ASAP.
Is Shiva's enough, and can you get like some other items which you're just able to pick it up a little bit more? Like obviously you got Aquila, Fire Strike top. They're actually using that for birds. So you got the Aquila over on the Juggernaut for now.
The Medallion on Beastmaster is going to be big. We can expect to use that defensively. He'll probably want a Solar at some point as well. Crimson Guard always excellent against the Visage, but part of the reason the panel like Liquid's draft so much is that it's very balanced. It's an easy game for them to win fights, and they have the ability to shove lanes just with birds, with Ion Shells. Jakiro from Kuro is always able to do so as well.
Setting up on Mind Control. The Sunstride's coming in. The Familiar Birds want to help out with this, and Solar, well, he's being a bit of a nuisance, and that's why they're locking him down, Solar Assumptioning into him. And Solo's on the run, the back, and the ensnared Juggernaut starts his TP. Have they got the damage? Yes, they do. 2 heroes will fall for VIRTUS.pro. And Team Liquid, they couldn't pressure enough on the top lane, but maybe they can do it on the bottom lane now.
It's a close game. We can't expect... I'm surprised no towers have fallen yet, but both of these lanes are just all stagnant. Like, no one is really making moves into side lanes. You can see Visage coming down bottom, but it's because he finally has that tempo timing. HOD, Birds up, rotate in Miracle as well, who's suddenly... How? Miracle's really far.
Yeah, he's got 5k. He's already got the Treads Aquila. He's 1 Mithril Hammer away from having the full Desolator. And Roger, top lane, try to go in on Kuro, instantly regrets his decision.
Did I miss something? Like, how's Miracle caught up?
It was the stacks. They had a couple of Ancients prepared for him. Now they move forward looking for more kills. He's only got 2-2-2, so you know it's not the kill. Sunstrike up on top. Revenge is granted. Mind Control going down every time Raw comes off cooldown. They just burned it out, this time with Medallion buff up on the Beastmaster. Ramses rotates in, looking after GH. He's got Song on the Siren while the spin is up. He doesn't want to go underneath that tower. Trying to get it off, but he just can't do it. The cold snap cancelling, and I'm wondering if he wasn't going to get it off anyway, so just accepted his fate.
I think it's good to save it there. You don't want to blow such a long cooldown. Nearly 3 minutes of time you'd be playing without Song. Now if this mid tower is available, that's Liquid's next play. You want to have all your skills available. Jakiro only level 6, so the combo isn't quite there, but they've been real good about landing the Matumba bird stuns as the Song fades, and you have so much lockdown. You get that full charged up TA trap, so it'll actually do damage as well. He's going to have Deso and 300 gold on TA. Yeah.
It's been a good time for Miracle. Even with that Bane making his life a living hell in mid lane, it's a turnaround for him. And then Matumba and Mind Control, they're just trying to control the bottom lane, and this is creating a lot more space on top. There's Familiar drop downs again on the Juggernaut. He can spin and get away from this. There's no threat here really for Ramses, but the continuous pressure from Liquid, I'm wondering if this is the smoke and mirrors. What is Liquid achieving elsewhere on the map while this is going on? Is it the TA farm? Is it Jakiro? Is it something else?
I mean, the Deso on TA is going to be picked up real soon. Yeah, Kuro's just sitting up top. Max...
Smoke gank. BP is already here. Look how fast they send in that Naga Siren. She's got the Iron Shell on her. They'll back. They kill off the Bane. Omni Slash. GH. He'll just mirror image. Dodges most of it. The spin, however, GH can't get out of the trees. So Ramsey spin TP will get himself a kill. Roger was there to help out. He's got Burrow Strike in 2 seconds time. Dick Chargers cannot give enough life to survive that long.
In the meantime, up top, you had Beastmaster land a Roar, immediate Sunstrike follow-up from No One's Invoker. He lands that kill, but Got to keep in mind, VP, they need their third or fourth items before their cores have any real survivability. You're going to need a Manta +1 on Ramses, and no one, yeah, he's going to have Midas, he'll have Ags, but he's got 5 armor still. TA Deso Melt Strike, he's going to get 3-shot. Add in any other spells, a little bit of lockdown, you know, like the Visage Birds alone, once that medallion comes up.
With the support of Liquid, obviously Matomman having that dominated nice and early, can they just slip into Roshan now? Song of the Siren is up. Can they take this, or do they need the tier 1 tower in mid gone before they can achieve it?
I think you can take the mid tower for free. I don't see VP being able to win a fight, especially against Song, so I don't mind that move. Up top, if you look, they know Pasha's in Viz. They just scanned him out, so yeah, he's going to back away wisely.
Waiting for the 15-minute bounty runes. Darkseer has come down. He's underneath his own dire observer wards. They got the information. Pasha just stands on the rune and actually claims it too.
Yeah. But man, Liquid's timing is going to be so strong. You got Medallion HOD on Visage, the Song combo, Darkseer's going Crimson Guard right away, and the TA has Deso. So
Solo put down the Observe Ward. Don't know if Kuro saw that while they're trying to look for the gank onto him, but Ensnare up and Solo, Brain Snap, just sustained the fight. Remember, he still got that Nightmare to try and dodge, and by a little bit of time, difficult and, well, not impossible, but futile.
In a really good place on Liquid right now. And Ramsey's going for the Yasha straight into Manta build, so he's not really going to scale that well either. Game's still even, 14-10, gold disparity still in favor of VP ever so slightly, but I don't know if they're going to be able to take a fight anytime soon.
It's that combination you were talking about. It's the negative armor, and VIRTUS.pro, even net worth isn't enough because they need to have the extra cash in order to deal with it. It's almost like an alchemist right now. You know you need to be ahead. Ramsey is the man on the run. GH has the Ensnare available. Doesn't want to just throw it just yet. Ramsey starts to spin. Knows his locked in position, then begins his TP out. He's going all the way back to base. And Team Liquid, even if they don't have the creep wave, they don't care. It's a little bit further away, but they're just going to take out the tier 1 tower on the top. No more no backdoor regeneration for these towers.
You can see what VP wants to do. No one down bottom. He's split pushing, but as this game progresses into the mid game, look at the Liquid heroes. You have 4 heroes that can shove creep waves without needing their hero to be anywhere near. Naga Illusions, TA Traps, Visage Birds, Darkseer Ion Shells, and then Jakiro is arguably the best 5 position in the world at just shoving lanes. So how are you actually going to be able to apply that typical VP pressure to open up the map when Liquid can just eat creep waves even faster than you?
Yep. And then how are you meant to contest Roshan? Like, if all these side lanes being pushed in, how does VP get what they really want to have, which is going to be the fights? And now, Fiend Script, well, is out. Matomman's got his burst with him. Raw, Sunstrike, the damage is enough to kill Visage. In return, no! The double drops! Kuro is here with the Ice Path to ensure there isn't just an easy escape. The bird's coming back up again. They have bonus damage as Matomman starts to heal. GH already with his but it's Miracle who's jumped forward, chasing after Pasha. And who really has that extra armor? Medallion was meant to give Pasha the advantage, but Miracle claimed his life as well as his units.
Night Wolf creep. 30% more damage to an incredibly high physical damage lineup already. Now you just walk into Roche. You already have this ward of the Ancients that's going to protect you.
You got Blink on TA?
Yeah.
She's got the money for it 17 minutes in.
Yep, and it doesn't, no one's net worth is not relevant. As soon as he gets targeted, he's going to go down. He'll be able to output damage. He has that axe, he can spam spells, but how does he stay alive to get them off when he's pressured and near, like, he's going to be immediately forced to run away if any of the Liquid cores get in his area. You can deal with Darkseer, but Visage lands a Q on you, like, you're just dead or you're going Invis.
And this game, he hasn't played Invoker in a while, and maybe you won't want to play it for a while after this. But either way, Ensnare, they managed to catch out Roger, but Roger very smart. Song of the Siren, smarter from GH. SK just locked in and brought down. That's the double damage, fresh double damage rune on the Templar Assassin. You said high damage. That's 107 plus 247. Yep, the Sunstrike's going to be on the money. So Darkseer will fall, but the damage is being inflicted to the mid lane.
The VP doing a great job thus far with the limitations of their draft. They have to find these kills. They can't take fights, and that's the second or third time you've seen this just roar off the Shadow Blade right into a Sunstrike. It's something VP does very well. Part of the reason they're in this final, they understand their win conditions. Beastmaster's not going these massive teamfight items because that's not their strength. He has to play fast off the map.
They actually saw his refraction come down. Now they're into the Omni Slash, combining with the Brain Zap. Miracle just wants to keep running away from this GH. Able to buy a little bit of space, but in comes your Invoker. Deafening Blast timing, little bit off. They have 9 minutes to buy time for Ramses, but Invoker goes down. Ramses will join him. Miracle just had the damage reach. You thought it was a trap for VP to spring. They had the ops in the Sentry. They had the information. Now all they do is they burn found the Aegis Immortal, hitting the Ice Path, and then Side Blade attack. Miracle doesn't even come into range of the tier 3 tower to find the kill.
Yeah, beautiful play from Liquid.
What do you want to do, Pasha?
Oh,
did they see him for half a second? I think they knew Pasha came in behind him. They dropped the sentry. They've dropped the secondary sentry. The Ice Path will connect. Beastmaster Shadowblade's wearing off. They've got the dust as well. Spidey senses are tingling, and Team Liquid put 4 in the grave of VIRTUS.pro in the span of 30 seconds.
This is such a great draft from Liquid.
Oh, mid, B, looking for a bit of a rebuttal. Refraction charges, buying time for Miracle. Now in snare, Roger really trying to force the issue. Nightmare buying a little bit more time for the Ice Path. And combination is great from Liquid. That was optimistic to say the least from Roger.
It's just there's so much Minus armor that this draft can output. You got -5 from the Naga, -14 from a Meld Strike of the TA, sorry, 15. Visage has the -10 of a Solar Crest. Like, how do you actually survive? As soon as you're isolated by a net, you're just going down, and that's an incredibly long disable. 4 seconds, soon to be 5. You don't have any method of surviving. You don't really win a team fight, and you can see this great trap. Yeah, they see the TA, they have a great setup here, but he has Aegis, so he doesn't care that he gets gripped, Sunstrike, ult. So many ults used, you don't even finish off the Aegis. Now all of a sudden, you reconvene. There's the Jug versus Naga factor. You're going to get net through spin the entire game. Now it's down, you get chased. Yeah, there's a defensive sleep, but does that really mean anything when there's so many methods of breaking it and no real combo break or counter initiation from this VP side? There's no Conquer, there's no
ET. It was there if the Deafening Blast was able to clip him, but the Tornado dropped him like a fraction of a second after Blast passed underneath the feet. So they didn't have that pushback, which they really required just to pop the Aegis and buy more time at the start of the fight. Probably the reason why PGL production team focused on no one during that fight. It's like, guys, problems.
And look, no one has Blink now. Bot's up soon, but again, these items increase his ability to farm and play around the map. He still can't survive. He won't be able to take fights. The moment he's targeted, he's going to go down. So if you're Liquid, you just need to find this Invoker.
It's space creation is what the VP game is right now. No one able to get the kill on Kuro. Pasha using that Shadow Blade. Even if he dies, it's okay, because he created more space. And he's wasting time. Mind Control and GH are chasing him. He's got Miracle also on the way up. So Pasha will die, but a Blink Dagger has been farmed up by Roger on the bottom lane, and he's pushing that out in the meantime.
You're doing as well as you can under the circumstances of your VP. It's going to be all in on this one team fight. You have the ability to find a pick. Oh, wow, nice Blink from no one there. If he caught a bird hit, he might have been in a bit of trouble.
Yeah, the Grave Shield gave him a little bit of an indication that fights were coming.
Yeah. No one is playing super efficient, always shoving mid. This is the 2nd minute in a row he's farmed while stacking Ancients. Pasha continuously finding kills, but again, I'm just concerned they don't necessarily have the matchups to win this game as it continues unless they can somehow find their way into the late game. This next Aegis from Liquid is going to be very scary for them. Jug needs this Maelstrom, and then you're looking at, like, someone needs an AC. Jug probably needs a Scotty at some point. It's just there's so many items that it feels like they need before they can successfully take a real engagement. And we haven't even seen a song combo yet.
No, we have not. And maybe it feels like we're overselling this where Team Liquid are in control when, like, out the top 3 networks, currently it's 2 at the moment for VIRTUS.pro who are sitting in there. But the Invoker is not poor by any stretch of the imagination, but it's that effective network that we're talking about. But that's why they try and get more out of the map. No one's on bottom lane, pushing into the tier 2 tower. DP support is coming back by Mind Control. So he'll hold the tower back, and this does effectively stop any kind of team fight that Liquid can achieve in the mid lane.
Ramsey's doing a great job getting the top tower in the meantime.
Yep. And the Hawk seeing everything for VIRTUS.pro. The Beastmaster kept that Hawk alive for a very long time, just stalking the Liquid lineup. So VP are making really good decisions. They pulled their heads together, and that's why Smoke Up from Team Liquid. It does, okay, Beastmaster got caught napping on the sidelines. He nightmares the Templar Assassin. Not certain that was the target he was looking for, but he'll take it. It was Roger who was the one to break the smoke and then bailed out.
And all they need is these couple of pickoffs.
EMP Tornado gonna kick him. Miracle blinks forward. The Song of the Siren catching the back lines. VIRTUS.pro, they need some extra help. The Ice Pass and the Macro Pyre. The Nightmare! It bought time for no one to go in, but the back into the wall. The Macro Pyre, he'll do the work. It's still heavy damage with the Epicenter returning a little bit more into VIRTUS.pro. Not to mention the fact that Juggernaut is still up and kicking. Both versions of him, the Dark Tier 1 and the other. But now Ramsey's hitting into Miracle. This is huge kills now for VIRTUS.pro. Mind Control has to surge himself away to safety. That was not the fight that Liquid looking for, and it's not at the end of it either. Mind Control, the runaway, Ramses, oh, he desperately wants this, but Pasha buys back, and he'll claim it with the range axes. Well played indeed. Team Liquid, they lose 5, going high ground, and all they got was 400 damage to a tier 3 tower and a kill and an Invoker and a Bane.
And people really want to kill these VP heroes. We saw LGD in the previous series lose a couple of games because they don't do deep. You can see, I love the play from GH, but you can see Crow backpedaled for a couple of seconds. He's not quite ready for this Song Blink in. He's 4 or 5 seconds behind. Tanks the MP anyway. If he's able to set up to get a multi-man Ice Path, this is a completely different fight. But now you hard commit on the Invoker. Again, the sleep save to buy a little bit of time. The roar on top of the TA BKB. Great epicenter from Roger. And now all of a sudden, look where Liquid's heroes are. And they don't have, like, it's all about their team fight. When Visage and Jakiro both die at the start of a fight, the Balto's dead too. You lose a significant portion of your damage. There's no lockdown.
Yeah, it's A-OK from Ramses. May have even done that when he's in the middle of the Omni Slash, and the Omni Slash was focused primarily on Matumba and Kuro. It never really bounced out anywhere else, so we got the exact targets he wanted. And this is that scary thing you were talking about. VP now going to have money. What are they putting it into? What are the items we're looking at? Blink Dagger for Pasha, but what are the other dangerous items against Liquid?
I mean, this BKB on no one's going to be huge as well, because they don't have... It's so hard to lock an Invoker down once he has BKB. Yes, he'll still be incredibly susceptible to that physical damage output of the TA, but you can play faster. You can just be evasive. TA has a very hard time sticking onto targets, especially as the game goes later. You can see in his quick buy right now, he's got a Scythe of Ice.
Yep. If he can knock down targets that way, but then you just got a 4-star followed by Roger. He cancels his epicenter, realizing he was doing it underneath an Observer Ward. 4-star up the hill, so the Roar controls GH into the Omni Slash, and GH will fall. 46 seconds down, and now Roger! The 3-minute Burrow Strike! He came under the Familiars, however, and they had the back wall combination. The Ice Path can't hold anybody. But Roger, damn, that looked good. Unfortunately, it was his death that was the only result from it.
Dude, another thing I forgot to mention, I've not played Darkseer in years, but when you get the wall illusions now of the Beastmaster, especially if this game gets later, most end up taking the inner beast attack speed. That's all the way at level 25, but still, you get Beastmaster aura. If anyone buys Vlad's or AC on VP, you're going to steal that as well. And the Jug illusion is very powerful. That's not a negligible hero. And the recent changes to wall mean that those illusions are now doing max damage when your wall's maxed out, which is going to be in about 200 XP for the Darkseer. Sorry, 100% damage.
It's even more enabling too, because Team Liquid, they're bouncing in both the TA as well as the Nagastar into this melee kind of range. So if one hero is isolated, the burn is just so hard that you can't stay alive. Like the SK, yeah, you got 4-star, you used everything, and it would have been a very different fight if Roger didn't get caught out. Like if he got in with the epicenter, that 3-man Burrow Strike into Epi would have been fantastic with the 4-star disengage, but he did the best he could with what he had left.
Yep. Now, I like what VP's done with their vision. They have total control over the bottom half of the Dire jungle. Just really to get vision, they need to continue playing and mirroring the map. You don't want to just walk into Liquid, because at any point, a Song combo, the TA initiating on somebody caught unawares, like, your heroes are still very squishy. You need to keep playing the same way. Push the map, play for the late game. I love Ramsey's choice of items here, the Manta into Maelstrom. Looking for a BKB next.
Yeah, they'll have both of those BKBs up soon. They've already got the one on the Invoker.
Yeah.
You're going to get a little bit of it's more dodge control.
Yep.
Bane going to go for the Ghost Scepter so he can Nightmare off the other targets. Thinking about Roshan, it is up. Team Liquid passing in front of it, not to kill it. They're coming under the cover of smoke as a quick pause from Ramses. Needs to readjust those knees.
Yeah,
or
so
potentially
this
down.
Is fine. This is a great moment for there to be a pause. Smoked up from Liquid right now. They just saw their ward get countered, but it was done very efficiently from Pasha. Using the minions, standing just to the left. This is a difficult fight for Liquid. You're going to be walking right into a potential choke point.
And into vision, you know, is probably already there. And the Hawk, it's going to look at Roshan. So Liquid, they smoke up looking for a fight. Now they're going for Roshan, but it's all visible. And Urani is going down pretty fast, but here comes VIRTUS.pro GH. He's got that blink song of the siren ready to go. Epicenter from Roger. He's blinking in. 4-star goes for the Burrow Strike, but Liquid have already left home. They catch out Pasha inside the river. They saw it coming from a mile away, and they'll get solo. Liquid with a double up. Now they can finish off Roshan. Unless no one wants to do something a little bit scary, Ice Path will connect. The TA trap slowed him down. He had no real way to escape from this, and now he'll burn his 10-second BKB, but they had the detection available, so Ensnare holds him in position. Now the fresh BKB burn, Invoke dead for 70 seconds, and Team Liquid are there to pick up Aegis as well as Cheese.
Yep, the burn, that was incredible. Miracle side-bladed down.
Roger, not again. He's not going to mess with them. Back outside of it. The Dire do kill Roshan. Aegis goes to Miracle, and they're out.
He side-bladed down the bird. They had no vision. Thus Roger just blinks in blindly to the pit, but they've already moved away. And a big advantage of that is that they have control of the Roche pit, and they still have the superior team fight. Beastmaster walks in, but how do you actually initiate his VP with no vision in this sort of game? You don't have any real reach, and you still don't win team fights against Liquid.
That's when you're going to feel it out. That's what Roger tried to do. Team Liquid, Belter coming, and then push down the mid lane. There is no one here from VP that can defend. They must let this mid Rax fall, and they must make sure they don't get caught out. Ramses is pretty damn close. And Song of the Siren is still up from GH, so Liquid have nothing to lose by pushing here. I don't think there's any way VP can find a kill on it. The BKB is down for the Invoker, not to mention him being dead anyway.
Yep.
So, yeah.
It's a good decision, though. You get the Rax, take Shrine, take the 4 Bounty Runes that just spawned, finish your Hex on the TA, go high ground with Aegis. You still have another 4 minutes with this and Cheese. You're not feeling any pressure if you're Liquid. You know you still have the stronger lineup for at least the next 5-10 minutes in this game. If you're VP, you need an immediate pickoff, and then I want to say long fights, but I don't even know if that really favors them. They need a kill or 2 right off the bat, and I just don't know how you're going to get that if Liquid doesn't 5-man dive into your base again.
That's why Pasha's out just roaming, trying to find this side pickoff. Like, he's only got Medallion with the Shadow Blade, so it's not a lot of damage to work with. You'll need the Invoker being physically there and not just the Sunstrike. Yep. Team Liquid, they're just establishing vision control. They got the Gem and Trueside and the Darkseer, who really should not die. Pipe as well as Crimson, so...
And Kuro took VPs off that last team fight, so there's no real vision control now for the side of VP. You have no real vision whatsoever on your side of the map, and you can't comfortably place any because Jakiro can just check high grounds with Ice Path, no big deal. You need a kill to start a fight, you need a pick-off, but how do you find that with no control and no vision?
Space created on bottom lane. The Invoker push in with the Forest Spirits and double catapult. They at least bring that tower down low, and this will waste a little bit of time with the Aegis the Immortal. They're not even planning on using the Cheese. Matumba's got TP in his inventory and the Cheese in the backpack. So they know they can wait a little bit more time. No one will have that space on the top to farm up the Shiva's Guard. He's got a double creep wave to farm.
I love the little things. Miracle just placing a quick trap on the high ground because the Jakiro was pushing the lane, so they get that D ward. Not something you'll see every core player do. They're going to miss this one. There's actually, I think, posted on Reddit about just a really unique spot that Solo found. One of the best warders in Dota, but as Nahaz brought up during the panel, Kuro seemed to have his number and still continues to do so as this game progresses.
Yep. I'm wondering if, well, they will obviously care about that. Well, it's almost a full duration one. And the only way to de-ward that is putting a sentry right on top.
Yep. Or a trap with a gem.
Or trap gem. That'll work.
Yep.
Flying vision. Yeah.
I still like what they're doing. You know, VP just continuing to try and buy time, but Liquid again, we said 4 minutes. Now there's 2 minutes left on this Aegis. It's go time. They've bought almost everything they possibly can. If you look at the current gold, Visage just finished the BKB.
No one has
finished the Hex. Yep. He can survive better now, but I still think he goes to negative if he catches all the minus armor from the Liquid lineup.
Pasha was still creep skipping top. He's only now going to TP back. Regenerating up inside the fountain, not already in a pre-prepared position. That's what the familiar birds are looking for as they go over the trees. So Roger will have to do this from deep inside the base. With the Force up, he does have that extra range, but the familiars are doing the work at the moment. Ramses wants to attack him, but he also does not want to get chain stunned. Not when Miracle is just itching to jump in, and there we go. Invoker, EMP Tornado, caught out Matumba with the Blink Force. Miracle will go for it with the bar. The BKB protecting him as he wants to stand his ground. Save for Ramses. No one was just able to escape. And the Song of the Siren is out. That's why the Omni Edge is still going to work. It only killed off one familiar. Now the BKB of Ramses. He does get back up, but the epicenter Roger, the back kept him away. Mind control with the great control. GH can be Lotus bombed up, protected with the bonus. That's why the call step returns. Roger, he'll go down. TA will finally get that jump in to find real kills with a Soul Assumption, getting through into Ramses. 5x not available for either of these players. No one must BKB moving away from Miracle, moving away from the ice path control. The Rax is barely surviving.
Just 20 more seconds.
Watch that time, and then maybe you get a little bit too overconfident. GH jumps in, Blink goes in for the rooting over on Solo. A little bit deeper, thanks to the 4-star. Meteor Hammer also looking to hit its target, but the cold snap counts that. Fiend Script from Solo, he wants revenge. Miracle, the aggressive jump forward, not to mention the ice bar, cancelling that ability. The Deathwing Blast and Meteorite at least remove the defensive refraction charges of the TA. But the Rax, the melee is already gone. The range is the only thing left standing on the bottom lane. Pasha is trying to help out. That Aegis model has expired, and with it, Team Liquid's push will probably do the same thing. Everybody retreat. Nothing of real value was lost here for Team Liquid.
And these teams are both they're so good. They make you work for everything. The BKB timings from Miracle and No One in that fight were a frame or two before the stuns that would have disabled them landed. Like, it's so crisp. Even though Liquid is still in command, it's still one mistake. Like, they make one more misplay, take a bad fight, even 2 racks ahead, and it just feels like VP could storm right back into this game.
VP are coming out. They're looking for a fight. As far as Dire Vision go, there is an Observe Ward planted smack bang in the middle of the mid lane. So Liquid already know that this movement is coming. Nakura is even putting a defensive ice path down on top of the bounty rune just in case. VP's just trying to get any money they can. They only got 1 out of those 4 35-minute bounty runes. Epicenter going in with a jump forward. Sunstrike onto Kuro. Song of the Siren. Everything just stops. Kuro turns around for the ice bath, and they just hit with Meteor Hammer, Song, and then Roger goes into buying time. Burrow strikes up the familiar chain stun from Matumba. Right on the money.
Okay, like, it's just, even the item choice, GH, I haven't talked about it, but he just went Blink Meteor Hammer. Partly because he has his teammates to pick up all those team fight sustain items that traditionally the Naga support would want. You know, the pipes, maybe the Crimson, the mech, etc. None of that is necessary.
It was mind control, right? Like, he had such a great start in bottom lane. Like, the guy even had a Lotus Orb affecting in that last fight.
Yeah, he has Crimson Pipe Lotus.
Roars out. Nightmare at least keeping a little bit of Liquid occupied as Darkseer falls instantly. It's a Naga Siren that slept up. The Omniscience, but Thomas Burst looked up a lot. Solo finding it's a Fiend Script bomb. And here's the double kill that no one was just begging for. Huge amount of death. Liquid just have to get the hell out of here. The Nightmare won't allow this, but GH Kuro doing his own TP out. GH will die on the steps of the palaces. Maybe yet one more attack will do it from Pasha. Kuro was able to complete his TP away, but you mentioned it, one bad fight, and even 2 racks down, BP can come back into this.
Yep, suddenly it's 2K lead. And Mind Control bought back there as well. Where was TA?
Watch the replay, check it out. That would be the best way. Here we go.
Yeah, so you can see TA just picked up a Daedalus and is now running back to his team. They're not able to fight. Ramses with the immediate BKB. This is the double BKB combo of the VP course. There's not much you can do to them if Naga's out of the game.
The Boar and the Troll Trapper was sitting inside the river, so even if Miracle wanted to blink himself over, he got caught when his refraction charges were down.
Yeah, and Song was down because they had used it on Roger previously. It's still down, actually. Like, that's what's so key. I feel like that's part of the reason VP's even in that area. They know with no Song, they have the freedom to do so. Otherwise, a BKB core gets netted, and then the Song isolates the rest of the team. But there, you just commit hard. And even though Visage, he's got a lot of items, but very squishy still. BKB, Ag, Solar, but there's no AC up. There's no Shivas. Like, his health pool really isn't what you would expect.
Miracle is planning another trap. This time in a place where no Sentry Ward in his right mind will be planted, but no one came out to fight it. You thought that no one would have actually, like literally, come to push the lane. But it didn't happen, so TP back out again, regroup up, watch that Roshan timer, as, well, it's now. He literally spawned. Naga Illusion scattered out instantly, so does the Hawk, so great information from both sides. Let's see what both teams can do with it.
And there's the third one as well. Refresher Shard for either side is an incredible pickup here.
They're grouping up underneath that Observer Ward. The gem didn't go far enough to the right. They didn't actually see it. So information for VIRTUS.pro also still on that high ground. Mind Control, he's barely out of range. That Gem of True Sight, not the same as normal vision. So this Observe Ward's watching him fight. Now Mind Control's like, oh wait, they know. Okay. But the vision is at least gone before the Roshan fight would begin. And this place is now littered with TA traps.
Yeah.
Hello, Lincolns.
I'd like to see TA move to put a couple traps down bottom just to cut that wave. then be able to set up for Roche. Right now, they're not playing it. And while they do have the supers down there, it's pretty easy for no one to just cover it every once in a while because of those bots.
Double Lincolns purchased.
Yep.
So we got one over on Ramses, and they're actually doubling it onto Ramses. So no one gave it. Obviously realizing that Ramses can be the man to jump in on the front lines.
It's super effective here. They BKB, it'll get rid of the net. Like, there's no longer a net threat when you're BKB'd, and the TA can't initiate by himself with the Hex anymore because he has no ability to cancel the Lincolns either. It's almost all in the Visage, but as we've seen time and time again, he seems to be the squishiest hero on Liquid. And if he gets stunned by Roger, he just dies in a Jug Omni Slash, so he can't really move up far enough to get a Soul Assumption off to proc that Lincolns. It's just not what you're looking to. You want Miracle to be able to play as that aggressor, but now he can't.
Team Liquid are just waiting for this fight in mid. They know the bottom wave is going to push him pretty heavily. So they'll have their opportunities to slip into Roshan. That's a decent creep wave. There's someone from VP, the second they show themselves, you know Miracle goes inside the pit. In fact, already they're going in. And this is a commitment from VIRTUS.pro. They'll lose tier 4 towers if they commit towards this fight, but I don't think they have another choice. So already, all regeneration up, Song of the Siren, GH jumps forward. He's got 4 heroes trapped inside of this. And make it actually 5. The Ice Path grabbing the Beastmaster on the end on Nightmare in the back, hitting a 3-man wall. Roger as the epicenter, so maybe they can get a little bit of revenge to GH. They don't have the control for him. TA rolled up Ramses. He's got the space. He'll burn the Aegis to the Immortal, but Omnislash has already been committed. So is his BKB. So Team Liquid, they'll keep the run going. Ramses into a spin. Solo kept the Beast Grip on the Templar Assassin. Miracles had no time to attack. Even Roger's going to go set around out that attack. But Tom and the Cheese gets him and keeps him in this fight. But Ramses, the damage is just so damn high. He'll finally get through him. The EMP burn is good, but Solo is down. Invoker as well as SK, the last 2 left standing. Refresher Shard was grabbed up by the Courier. SK was nearby. I don't think he actually realized that was still left inside the pit. But this is going to be a very hard defense from VP.
No buyback on the Juggernaut. Great play from GH there. Isolates the entire VP lineup as his team finishes Roche. Objective-based gaming. Now you go straight for the tier 4s.
Yep. No Aegis Immortal, however, on Miracle. Keep this in mind. Refresher Shard was given to the Visage. So he'll have another set of birds if he wants it. His BKB's up cooldown in 10 seconds time. They get through the birds. Matubman's holding the shard for the moment. He still wants that BKB charge to work with. Miracle will start the hit without that damage from Ramses. Can VIRTUS.pro actually hold this line? The creep waves come in nicely through the bottom. Solo's looking for the target. Matubman burns the BKB already. Remember, he's got the shards. He wants to have the extra birds, and that's exactly what he does. Shard, then bird. Tier 4 tower's gone. Fire strike forward. They're trying to get that meteorite to hit the target, but it just doesn't work. A quick move away. Roger trying to get out of it. Then he can't do it. Buyback. They'll just have to be committed. The Familiars are still up and fighting. They don't have their stuns for the moment. Now they move forward. They do have them. They're attacking in towards the fountain. Team Liquid, they want to end this. 15 seconds till Ramses is up. Do they have enough time? The Nightmare stopping the TA from attacking. GH goes after no one, but no one has Lincoln Speed to protect it. Fire Strike Epicenter is back in again, but the Ancient is ticking down 200-0. Liquid just manhandling VIRTUS.pro at the end there. And VP, it felt like they were walking uphill most of the way anyway.
Oh man, that Glyph had 13 seconds left on cooldown when that game ended. Incredible play from both sides.
Visage, something like that.
The last time that VIRTUS.pro played this Wind Ranger, by the way, was
2015.
No, not quite that long ago, but the
10 seconds remaining.
Yeah, 6th of January last year.
5 seconds
18 months.
remaining.
So you have to give away information here. That's the big thing. You have to show what the Lesher the Sinking is going
For
to
the
be.
DP,
Okay.
yeah, another fighting carry.
Yeah.
I was just saying, Death Prophet's still out there.
Oh yeah.
VP banned it last game, but it didn't ban it this game.
Been a 1-2 for both.
Bloodseeker. And that immediate counter pick of the Bloodseeker, that Death Prophet mid will get destroyed.
If it is mid.
Okay, it's going to be a side lane.
I think you're right. I think you're right.
Tinker is banned, however. I still like other heroes, like Storm Spirit.
I mean, you look at the aggro dueling combinations. Leshrac Sand King most likely on the one side, the Beastmaster Wind Ranger or Beastmaster Bane on the other. There's going to be a lot of action in both those duel lanes. This Bloodseeker is going to have those. I don't think this will be a safe lane Bloodseeker by any means. I think this is set up to be a mid Bloodseeker.
I think they're going to duel in middle though. Lich +1 middle, most likely against the Bloodseeker.
So the last time they played that Wind Ranger, I said 18 months ago, it was at ESL 1 Genting last January.
And they lost.
It was no one, and they won against Fnatic.
And they won.
The time before that, they played at Star Ladder in 2016 against Escape Gaming, which they also won.
So I like
twice in 2 years.
Go ahead, Cap, please.
The Broodmother fans would run over the. There's other. Be particularly. We're looking at like the saving next.
They probably want to pick a Ramses here, though.
Yeah.
Right? And then put the Bloodseeker in mid.
I'm looking.
I think I'm more and more on board with this black idea of the dedicated Lich dual mid, and maybe you get away with something a little greedier like an SF.
SF could work. There's a lot of heroes that could work on paper, but then again, we're not Kuroki. That's why we're here, and he's there. I think PL right now looks quite strong as well.
Yeah, I'd like PL.
Like PL Lich can beat the Bloodseeker mid.
But you could turn that into a core.
You could do that too.
And
No, I mean for Liquid.
Oh.
Liquid PL. VPs, they don't really like PL, I think. I have not seen them play it for...
What are they missing?
Yeah,
the lineup
not
they've
for a
got
while.
right now. What are they missing?
VP?
Yeah.
I think they're missing...
AoE.
VIRTUS.pro.
Yeah, some kind of AoE...
Yeah, they have no AoE.
Yeah.
That's why, I'm starting to wonder about Chaos Knight doesn't fit for Liquid, but
I really like that Storm band though.
Yeah.
I think Storm would have rolled them over. Really. That was funny. Can you laugh? We're a team.
I did.
Okay.
Team Liquid's
Great.
turn to pick.
Faceless Void.
Faceless Void. Okay.
Well, there's your AoE.
Yeah.
I think
AoE control.
so. It's a mid Bloodseeker, safe lane Void. I think Phantom Lancer got even better now.
You like the PL Void matchup?
Quite good.
Okay.
Because you just keep sending illusions at him, and at some point he runs out of mana to Chrono. And if that ever happens, he's screwed.
You have a lot.
10 seconds remaining.
You do, for sure. If you get caught in Chrono, pretty much every hero just dies.
5 seconds
Unless you have an
remaining.
Adelan.
You need your game-winning hero.
What's the thing called again? Aeon Disc. Yeah.
Save next.
OD's good.
SFOD.
Lane might be a bit rough, though, against the Bloodseeker. I think it can still work out.
Ember?
Ember's good. Honestly, I don't know. Like, Miracle always plays like so many different heroes in his mid lane, whatever he feels like playing. Especially if there's a Lich, they have so many more options.
I won't even mention my favorite.
It's not good.
No, it's terrible.
Phantom Lancer? What's it gonna be? Phantom Lancer or OD?
PL.
Random hero.
Choose
Monkey
your hero.
King.
Wow, you wanted
Against the Bloodseeker.
Melee. Okay, melee on melee.
That is
It
a very
gives you
good
the zone. Oh, that's actually sick. It
Well,
gives you the zoning against the Chronosphere.
Because they have 3 melee cores, so they can't have a good matchup against the Monkey at all.
And you
Girl.
have the
Yep.
just
The thing was,
buff it up.
like Lich Monkey, right? You get Nova at middle, you just die as Bloodseeker, right?
Yep.
Like, you actually just die. He gets the stacks up, he stuns you, you're dead.
How did they think of that pick?
All right.
How did we not think of that pick?
Let's go down the line
yeah,
and see
honestly, yeah.
whether the other two are going to argue with Alan. Alan.
Liquid.
Liquid.
Oh dear. Cap, this seems to have backfired on you.
Just to make sure,
Sorry, buddy.
It's Liquid.
Wait, just to make sure everybody knows it was his idea.
Right.
So if he doesn't go with it,
I think the Monkey King and Lich dual lane shuts down the Bloodseeker, and if Bloodseeker can't lane, he can't have a game.
anyone really, right? Nobody can lane against the Monkey this game, I think.
All right. Okay. You're going to go with Liquid as well? I can't persuade you otherwise. With a 70% win rate on the Bloodseeker.
No.
Fellow panel.
Okay, no, that
We
makes
are a
sense.
team here.
I'm just prodding.
We
How
are
quickly
team
does this
testing.
fall apart after we
It's
get
fine.
one wrong?
They're riding and dying here. It's like an elevated version of Mafia right now on our panel. Is it going to be 2-0 to Liquid after another good draft? Let's find out as we head back to our commentary duo. They are ready and waiting to bring you game number 2.
I would like to thank our panel for being absolutely wonderful by predicting the team that will now lose. So we can have ourselves a full series. Or at least a 4th game.
You doubt them now, or are you just hoping for 5?
No, I just doubt the panel in general. I don't even doubt Liquid. I just doubt our panel.
Yeah.
How do you feel about this? Like, we're running a 3 melee core lineup from Virtus.pro. They're doing it against the Lich pickup, which came in the mid-draft from Team Liquid. How is this all meant to sync? Who really is meant to have the advantage?
I think Liquid, you know, LGD picked Monkey King against VP's Void. I think they should have probably won that game. They had a couple real questionable dives. I think it's a great last pick. The concern I have with VP's lineup is you have Bloodseeker Beast, incredible damage amp, but the Ramsey's hero is a Void. I like these heroes a lot better when they're paired with something like a Medusa or a Gyrocopter, something that not only provides you, like, it's just AoE damage that's increased, whereas Void, if he falls behind, like, he's playing against a Lich as is, like, it's so much single target damage, it feels like the same game as the previous, where Liquid's team fight is superior, and their tower push is too.
And then it's going to be like a low bracket final. Hey, Roger is the man doing all the damage with a buffed up power shot. Heck yeah, welcome to the party. That's the way to do it.
It's still very possible, but the Void needs to have a great game, and I don't know if Lich is good or not, but if anyone can make Lich work, it's Kuro, so...
We'll see how it unfolds as we get to look at our lane. So no one in solo are starting off here in the mid lane. They're dueling together, Bane as well as Bloodseeker versus Miracle. This is going to be a hard time. Like, yeah, he's crapping bananas out in the mid lane. It's a rather scary lane. Bottom lane's going to be Ramses and Roger, that Void as well as Wind Ranger with the early Orb of Venom going against Matumbaman's Death Prophet, trying to sustain. Kuro's there to try and help him out. And that leaves the top lane, which is GH and Mind Control, SK as well as Strack respectively, against Pasha. So already the lanes are starting to rotate a little bit. Kuro is headed towards the mid lane. He's trying to ensure that Miracle can have a half-decent start, but this has to be death to Matumbaman on the safe lane. He's already fortifying to try and keep his creep wave alive as Roger and Ramses dive, and it forces the TP back. That's GH actually coming down to bottom lane, able to get the Burrow Strike out. Wind Run not leveled up from Roger. Matumbaman will get the first blood. Time walk away from Ramses, but VP aggressive to the point of giving first blood to Liquid.
Is this another? He's gonna get the Caustic proc. I think.
On bottom, yeah, Ramses, one more attack. Yeah, he's gonna pop. They get both core and support in the off lane.
Yeah, VP, incredible team, but definitely, I don't know if you noticed this, Toby, they lost that last game, right? Do you see any all chat spam from them? Any voice lines?
No. Well, maybe they realized, maybe that's the whole thing. Once you block VP have just lost their power.
Well, there you go. They proved me wrong as is, but I think
they can't hear you. We're not on the PA system out there or in the ears of the players.
They're just a very momentum-based team, and I fear a dive like that, when you're Wind Ranger Void, you want to stay out of your lane. Now you're against DP Sand King, like, Wind Ranger's going to be threatened. This is not a lane you really win anymore in mid lane.
You're meant to harass that lane down. Like, that's the power of the Wind Ranger, right? Like, this long range, slow harass. You can't really harass back because she's just able to wind run and dodge any kind of aggression that you've got on her.
Yeah, and you're not going to win mid as a Bloodseeker Bane against Monkey King Lich.
Yeah. This is going to get pulled back. Solo's doing everything he possibly can, but he went again for the 0-1-1 at the start. No points in Feeble, no removing the damage of Miracle, who's already sitting at plus 60. Gotta love that Jingu Mastery.
Yeah, pretty static game. The Matumbaman DP is not the greatest lasting down here. That is one big advantage of Void. You just have a Quelling Blade, and all of a sudden you're going to secure every last hit. You can see he's already #1 in the game.
Power shot, Nightmare, Solo came on the back of the Haste Rune. Nightmare switched over towards Matumbaman. They really wanted to try and catch out GH. Power shot's still going to be on cooldown, so harassment's good. But Ramses is still only a level 2 Faceless Void. There is no follow-up here. And because of that movement, now you see no one being aggressively dived by Miracle. He's got that plus 90 damage of Jingu. Ready to rock and rumble. And Solo's already come back towards the mid lane. So Miracle, happy to hit anyone that was willing to oblige. Miracle, looking for the slap down, still hoping for that chance against no one. It's only a level 1 Thirst. So Solo back into the trees. No one had to salve up pretty quickly. And Miracle, gotta love that life coming back in.
Yeah. It's so easy to get Jingus up. Bane, super low attack range. Bloodseeker, obviously a melee hero.
You can play around all you want with that mischief, but
bottom lane, they're going in on Roger.
Yeah, real deep. Power shot comes down from GH, so that's gonna be Roger to go down. GH as well because he popped that power shot. Does go down. Brains that Miracle so low on life. No one making the most of it, gets the poor swipe forward. You're not meant to win that lane, but at least they get something back into it. They get the kill on Miracle.
Bloodseeker, as soon as those heroes in the side lanes go low up top, Beast is always pressuring Mind Control. This is the third salve he had to buy, and Tango's as well.
And Mind Control TP back to base at one point. That's a lot of time out of the lane.
Really big kill for them now. You have the Equil up on Miracle, but this lane gets harder if the Bloodseeker can hit 6, but at the same time, like, you can't really ever... If this is left as a pure 1v1, the Monkey King should pull ahead just because you're always getting full Jingus.
SK's rotating up towards the top lane. GH is hoping for some kind of gank. Pasha coming for the 5-minute rune is that perfect opportunity to go for it. So they do have Split Earth Stun on top of the rune. Pasha's going to grab it, actually bottles it, so he'll have a couple of charges and stick charges. Not to mention those level 3 axes giving him the damage and the physical damage. Mind Control trades one-on-one with him. Kuro even TPs out quickly, realizing Miracle's in trouble in the mid lane. No one made the most of the low life to get aggressive into the face of that Monkey King.
It's the same story. I love Pasha's decision. Instead of just running away, accepting his death, he turns. Probably shouldn't get that kill, but does, and he enables his Bloodseeker in the mid lane to find a kill as well. This is the strength of this hero. Even though he's outlaned, I've said, oh, he can't be here, but at the same time, once he gets the attack...
They're going to go after Mind Control. Solo can just start with a Nightmare if they want to try and position for it nicely. Pasha's coming in. He's got both Raw and level 3 axes. GH will have to create some space, but the axe on the Raw. Burrow Strike Pasha. Look at the sidestep. That's a perfect Michael Flatley moment. Slips to the side, dance a jig, and take the kill.
Down bottom as well. DP out of mana. No drains left. Gets bashed.
Power shot going to be off target. However, they need that damage to get the quick kill and move out of here. Roger, he's got Windrun available so he can be underneath the tower a little bit longer. But Matumba barely clinging to life. He's got 8 1 charges as well as the 3 charges of infused raindrop, so he's got some level of protection. But this top lane belongs to VP. They're even going to fortify to keep that pressure underneath the tier 1 tower. Matumba. Roger and Ramsey still trying to go to work with him, looking for that. If he can get it, the 1 level of time lock hit onto Matumba. It does not come, however.
It's a little troublesome for the Liquid lineup. They're very much a mid-game lineup, and
they're going again. Ramsey's time walks on cooldown for the moment. Roger's keeping this harassment up, and he loves it because no one's got such high movement speed. Almost 500 movement speed. He's coming in, Blood Rage himself up, starts with a right. GH and Matumba, they realize what's going on. 2 attacks will kill off GH, maybe with the Burrow Strike back and Crypt Swarm. No Spirit Siphon available. Solo has a double damage room. Can't find his target. The power shot will do the work. Remember, no one's giving him the vision, but Matumba starts to TP out, will not succeed. The Nightmare stops it up on top lane. Pasha does it himself. Seeing all of this with our picture-in-picture. So Matumba and Mind Control go down. GH will join them in the afterlife. Maybe a stick charge, but the attack. Roger can keep up. Has the movement speed thanks to that wind run. And Kuro want to be part of this. Nightmare's off cooldown right now. But Solo can't close the distance on Kuro.
Kuro's also going a skill build I have never seen before in a Lich. He's currently 1-3-1. Maxing out Ice Armor, an ability that really doesn't scale super well. I think that's a second point could be fine, but he has very limited offensive power, and the issue with the Liquid lineup is they're very teamfight based. They need a strong mid game. They need to be able to walk down towers. VP is going to have no trouble finding kills just using Chrono, Grip, Beastmaster, or Rupture off cooldown.
Yeah.
If you allow them to play this map dominant skirmish style, they're going to pull ahead, and they're dominating the laning phase.
Shackle, Roger is able to latch. Akura wants to help out. The Frost Armor is on the Monkey King, making these attacks hard and slow, and then the slap down. No one's low on life. He's still short of level 6. They're trying to beat into Miracle. Just can't do enough damage, at least not enough damage that's non-repairable. And Solo, this is an interesting walkthrough.
Look at the smoke up top, though.
We're actually going to find
the shrine.
Mind Control is just bouncing his way out of here. Disco Pony, okay, he's not leaving. GH is sticking around too. The ball from Beastmaster checking out behind him. Matumba can't get close enough for the kill.
Pasha is playing on point this game. Not just finding the kills, but avoiding the gank. But like just playing aggressive enough where you try anyway. If you sit at the tower, the enemy team can just rotate around, but this way you force them up to your lane, shove it out, and now you just play confident.
Rupture's out. Miracle doesn't want to fight this one. Blood Right's there too. Shackle just holds Miracle in position for half a second, and that's long enough. No one doesn't get the last hit in, so no regeneration. Actually, TP the Faceless Void in. Maybe Ramsey's thinking this was a bigger fight worthy of a Chronosphere.
No, it's just a VP efficient TP. They do these all the time where bottom lane was shoved in, so there's no creeps that are going to be lost out. and there's no reason not to port. It's so cheap. You're not really going to ever look to port all the way to top, but come mid, maybe Liquid responds, you get a chrono follow-up. He's going to be back bottom. He did not miss a creep of XP.
Now middle lane can be soaked up by Roger. He had a fantastic Skywrath game previously. Now you just had the Bloodseeker go jungle. It's almost like when you had the 1 positions in the safe lanes, when we had like the lifesteals and such. And just like peel off, they go jungle and make sure these supports are willing and enabled to fight through levels and gold.
Well, I like this decision a lot because, you know, you still can't really lane against Monkey King, even if you're ahead one-on-one, but the Wind Ranger's never threatened.
We're going again. It's that 10-minute rune contest. Liquid want to have it for their top rune, and especially considering Pasha's been very aggressive on him. But I hate to say they only got 1 bounty rune because Ramsey's got the others.
Yep. You're going to see him pick up that invis. Not really much to do with it. He might look to go mid, but there's already a sentry down.
4 heroes from Liquid have grouped up here. GH still only level 4. Ramsey's invis. He's underneath the sentry wood. They don't know if they have enough control. He's out of range of the sentry, and the way Miracle acted then revealed that to Ramsey that they actually saw him. But now Pasha, smoked up, comes towards the mid lane, will look for a gank of his own. Burrow strike first from GH, now in through the sides, gets the roar off and the Chronosphere. It's clipped too, that TP in from Matumba, he's just outside the Chronosphere. GH gets in the Sandstorm, goes a little bit more invis, that Prophet now has to stand as she is locked in position thanks to the Rupture. GH can leave Burrow strike and they have the damage with Mind Control. Everybody is here. It's a 5-on-5 fight, minus the 2 deaths, but that doesn't mean Matumba can stand his ground. The axes and the level 3 brain sap.
And the level 2 Blood Rage from Bloodseeker. Oh, that's the reason that he actually goes down there. That 30% damage amp on a DP. I think that's a great fight from VP. Excellent pincer. They get the kill on Monkey King before he can get anything off. They're playing around the map very well. And then immediately, look, they're back in lanes.
Yep.
Void already bottom. Top lane already pressured out.
And no one's got the top lane. The faceless Void working closer towards that Mask of Mana, so during Chronospheres, he won't rely on his teammates to do the damage for him.
And now you're going to have the solo nighttime warding mission like he's done many, many times before. 3 wards, 2 smokes, he's ready to go. And this is something a lot of supports are hesitant to do. When you hit around this nighttime, you don't have wards up, solo smoke, no big deal. Place all your vision. It's very unlikely to get counted because they'll have no idea where you ran. Really important that this happens because
he was just out of range of that deep observer ward of Team Liquid too, or else they would have known he was going for this mission. But you can see the objective of VIRTUS.pro, control up the Radiant Southern jungle. And then Solo used that smoke to try and rotate down towards the bottom. GH is in the tree lines, and Fiend Script. Solo's got him held. A lot of TP supports coming in, 2 of them in the trees. GH is solo and live. Parcher will arrive, but he doesn't have access up, and Solo is very dead. 4 heroes come down. Actually, all 5 heroes come down for this kill, and all they get is Solo. How many times have we seen this where VP look for fights, and Solo's the only one that died?
Yep, and it's value too. He got the wards down.
Oh, God. And now they can actually get a revenge kill with time dilation. But Tumberman, he has the movement speed, he's got the space. GH with the virus strike into everything, and Ramsey has to time walk away. Very difficult to control him. Chrono's on cooldown for 11 more seconds and no one arrives. Starts the Rupture, it's on the Tumberman once again. He's so low in line, so no one can just rotate around. The Bane, he's back this fight. Solo into the world of the living. Monkey King bounces around. Miracle, ready to jump in. He's at Wukong command. It's a good Chronosphere. It's just being controlled. It's actually just controlling the track. I say it's a good one. They didn't really get much of a follow-up. The Wukong command has flipped this fight into 2. Solo being caught on the wrong side of those tracks. There's the Bloodseeker going down.
I'm surprised VP rotated that heavily. I felt like they ditched Solo. We're in the middle of talking about how that's a good death.
Yeah.
You're still farming the other 2 lanes. They bring their own 5.
They were trying to force the fight before Chrono was up too.
Yeah.
Like I can see bringing all 5 in when the Chrono was up, and they've got a lot of follow-up damage inside of it. Yeah, they kind of made up for the heavy commitment for Team Liquid. Now as Pasha in the trees. As a TP scroll, will dodge the first attack. Axes fly in and out. There's a little bit of chip damage, but Pasha knows he's dead. Can summon up a couple of boars, but this actually just becomes food. My control leaves the Pulse Nova on for half a second longer. More money.
Still with the top 3 cores in net worth on VP.
Roger. Does not connect onto GH. It's not stopping no one in solo. No one's at 511 movement speed.
Yeah. And Kerr also, he committed. He went 1-4-1. So max ice armor, even though he's only level 8. All of the heroes are going to be deceptively
They
tanky.
get that kill. Meanwhile, in towards mid, no one begins the rupture over on Miracle. Starts the blood right. Solo's there. Fiend script to cancel the TP out. They will have to burn 2 ultimates for it. But a kill onto Miracle is going to still be worth it to hold the top 3 net worth positions for VP.
And I like what they're doing. Roger's just been camping out inside the Radiant jungle. No one playing the top area.
He's waiting for the courier.
Yeah. He's just been sitting on those wards, though, just waiting. I don't know if he's actually going to get this courier. He's going to need at least 2 hits.
Courier's coming. He's got wind run, and he can keep up with it at least. So let's see if they're quick on it. 1, 2, 3, 4. Wind run, wind run, wind run. Bomb, bomb. Focus firing to ensure he's got it all. And a love heart. Aww.
Kills.
Yeah, it's good. Control up Solo. No way in and out of this. X isn't being burnt, means they want to try and push the lane, but Roger's already there to power shot back the Radiant creep wave.
And it's the same as the 10-minute rune fight, though. Yeah, you get the 1, you get a kill, but up top, no one's just collecting 2 for free.
Oh. And Pasha's still got the 1 on their side of the river. Actually, what was it? Hang on. Yeah.
Yeah, they got 3 again.
Yeah, they did. I'm doing the counting on the list.
And this is where the VP lineup is great if you're in a position where you can just sit on a lead, because you're going to keep accelerating. You have a much easier time finding pickoffs. Liquid need fights.
Oh, rupture. It's on the Miracle. He can't treat Eds himself away from this, and he knows it. That's to stand his ground. And no extra pressure without the Fiend's grip. Maybe VP feeling a little bit more cautious. They're dropping him surfboard right on top of Team Liquid, so I'm assuming that'll be dewatered by Kuro.
The Sentry just barely missing the Liquid ward as well. But again, though, they force so many rotations just by paying with the Rupture. Down bottom now, you have Beastmaster shoving the lane hard, and there's a Lesh here. If Wind Rangers finds him, this is a dead mind control.
Surfboard does see from mind control Roger's movement. The top lane's already been pressured pretty heavily, so Blood Right will try and push it back. Nice quick split Earth. Roger doesn't have the Shackle line against mind control. Rupture's back off cooldown, 13 seconds time. You'll have Bloodseeker as well with the Blade Mail.
Look at the positioning as well. They have that ward on the side, so Solo knows he can just sit here. Bloodseeker constantly spamming out that Blood Right, defending tower. In the meanwhile, Void farmed out middle. He's got Chrono ready. They bought enough time to potentially take this fight.
They're bringing friends. Rupture's out. Miracle starts to run into the trees. The Shackle and Fiend's grip onto GH, so he's a non-factor. The Chronosphere from Ramsey's completely whiffed. GH's Burrow Strike as well creates more space, letting the Chain Frost bounce around. But Lich kills himself on the Blade Mail when that happens, and now Ramsey's time dilation slows down Matumban. Pasha can try and turn. He's already burned the Raw, and he continues to burn the Solar Crest. Needs to buy space. No one. Fancy footwork goes left. There are no stuns available. No one's TP successful. Miracle tried to slap him down, but it does not reach. And VIRTUS.pro, you know they're in a good mood when the lines start to spam.
Yeah, couldn't have said it better myself. Just easy setup. They use the Chrono. They find those quick kills. And they just have such an easy time of doing so because Liquid, they can't survive. They can't abuse their team fight potential when 1 or 2 heroes are just getting picked off at the start of the fight. No one can live through a roar at the moment.
Need to find a way. Rockstar is the way.
The heroes are actually all so squishy, and Matumba Man just not having the game to the point where he can't frontline. Like he has drains up, he's got the full stick, but it just doesn't matter. He only has 1,000 max HP, and worst case scenario, they can just save Rupture for him and run away.
Mind Control's hoping for some kind of fight up on top. Without the Eul Scepter initiation from either him or Matumberman, it's real difficult to catch Solo.
And not only that, Solo had this ward here the whole time. He knows they're still in the area.
Well, here we go again with that replay. So the top lane fight.
Yeah, they force the leap. No one, nice little juke into the trees. I actually think he dies there if he catches the stun. Just another little micro maneuver, I'll say. Like both of these teams.
Yeah, that's good, boy. That's good.
They play a hell of a lot better when they're smiling, man. Maybe watch GH's advice. One of those quotes to live by. Worry is only due to a lack of imagination, or a misuse of imagination, rather. I love GH.
I'd like to see, like, we don't need the bro code. We need the GH code. That's the real secret to life. I would buy that book, yeah. I would buy that more than the perfume of SCCC.
I can agree with that.
Which sold out in the span of like 5 minutes.
Yeah, of course.
Sold out faster than than tickets to PI.
I
don't think that's possible. All those were gone in like 14 seconds, something like that.
Yeah. Hey, you got time, right? That's what ticket errors are for. All right, so Team Liquid, obviously they got to know they're in a bit of a rough spot. They're 8,000 gold behind. Experience-wise isn't as bad. Win probability is an 88% chance for VP to win. All right, we'll go with that. Fire strike from GH, a little bit off target. Roger. Just considering a turnaround with the shackle onto GH. He has a little bit of it. Nightmare as well. Gonna make him a little bit edgy, Team Liquid. Knowing the rest of VP, yeah, they're gonna go straight in for the Fiend Script. Epicenter, GH brings it, blinks forward with the Fire Strike, but they've already lost Matumum, and maybe it's worth it, but not. The Chronosphere, no one. He's caught on the edge of it inside the Wukong command. The Vault 1, the Lich ulti will bounce, but back into the Kree wave, away from the heroes to Roger. It'll hit him and bring him down. Miracle never had to leave the Wukong. Now he will, chasing down Pasha. The buyback came in from the Death Prophet. That's why Matumum is hunting, looking for some revenge of the gold that he had to expend. And he'll have it. It'll be the kill onto Pasha. Okay, no, Matumum will take it. But yeah, it's fine. It's all good.
Such nice little plays. No one ran in, not to the Chrono, but just in range of the Leshrac Pulse Nova with his Blade Mail active to assist his Void in taking him out, because that's a bunch of AoE damage. I think he kills him like 2 or 3 ticks faster because of that. And just, again, blood raging the target they're going for, and it dies so quickly. I've yet to see a Bloodseeker use his Q for damage amplification on an enemy. I was talking about how there's no one to really play with on his team to buff, so he just keeps using it on an enemy.
Well, he was waiting for the perfect time in the mid. He's got Rupture available, starts with the Blood right instead. Extra support arrives in the form of the Clarity. They got more to play with.
Yeah.
I love the vision game in the mid lane. Like the Observers and Sentries on almost all sides for VP. And then this Obs and Sentries smack bang in the middle.
Dude, and I love this. Look at the itemization as well. BKB finished on the Ramses Void. Bloodseeker going to be going BKB directly after the Blade Mail. And it looks like Beastmaster as well, now that he has the Shadowblade Solar. You look at Liquid's lineup, what do they actually do to 3 cores running at them BKB? How many times have we seen this? You get this huge mid-game advantage, you buy the BKBs, all of a sudden not only do you have the better pick-off, reach, and skirmish capabilities, but now you're unkillable in a fight as well.
But you will have, once Monkey King gets bigger, he'll bring the physical damage and then he won't care so much about the BKBs. But
he's 1,000 away from Battle Fury, he's so behind.
Yeah. It's not a great time for him. But there's space being created. He's got top lane to farm up. While VP pressured the mid lane once more. They've still only claimed, like, surprisingly, only 1 tier 1 tower. Maybe not so surprising. Okay, roar in, jump forward, tanking. They really want to make sure he's not part of this. And with a shackle onto Matumum, they can just rotate from one to the other kill.
That power shot's doing so much damage every time. No one's there with the Blood Rage. The Death Prophet just dies. What is he supposed to do?
Not get caught in the double Chronosphere. Ramses! You go from 1 to 2 in one of the fights, walks outside the Chrono, but there it is again! VIRTUS.pro! They are making this look easy, and they're just chaining their initiations perfectly.
The double power shot too, I love it. And look up top, Roger, TP Shrine. This leaves tier 2 teleports active from a teammate. He's gonna potentially find Miracle's Monkey King here, but doing a very good job playing.
Oh, so he almost got the tree. If he hit that, the Void would have just gone on a wrecking spree. The Monkey King trying to bounce around. Roger, just a quick power shot, gonna miss the target. Monkey King has already TP'd back up onto the top lane. But that's a tier 1 and a tier 2 tower loss for Team Liquid in the mid. No chance for any kind of denial on it either.
And there's the BKB on Bloodseeker.
Oh, Primal Spring, he's coming forward. The D-Warding is out. Matuman's going to go for the silence over on base. No interruption into a Wukong command, wanting no one. BKB, TP out. They've got nothing to break through that. So Wukong will go down, but the 10-second BKB is burnt from no one. Have they got a little bit more? Yeah, they may have. Kasha in through the rear.
He gets the courier, but I don't know if that's worth it, although it did buy time for that DP ult to continue ticking down, so you can see Liquid ping Roche. Yeah, but it's so risky here. You know you're playing into a Chronosphere Void. It's still down for 40 seconds, but still the threat is just too much. No Wukongs, you can't take a fight in the pit.
They can try and take the tier 1 tower in mid, but you know Solo and no one are waiting around looking for the denial. That's why Edict turns on from mind control, and there is no chance VP can deny that. They back off and continue their farm.
Yeah. Another thing I love, even though they lost the previous game, I thought Ramses' item decisions after the Manta was perfect. That Maelstrom seems to be this perfect not really recovery item, but it's an acceleration item that's not nearly as expensive as a Battle Fury, and he's picking it up again here. Really like the decision. Especially good just because you'll have the magic damage procs against a Lich. Just more value.
Ruptures out. GH. Burrow strikes. The Nightmare's going to cancel it. They have that vision as the Observe Ward on the hill on their side. Not to mention their own eyes, so GH just doesn't want to walk off just yet. Being script from Solid, they need that damage to connect, and they've got it. Hold him there for the power shot. And somehow, Monkey King, okay, yeah, Pasha, Solo kills Monkey King on top. Sure, we'll go for that. Blink him towards the mid lane. Jump onto mind control, and this just appears to be one by one, the lemmings fall off the cliff. Kuro wants to get back into base, but once again, amplified up. It's on both ankles.
It's so easy, and Liquid, they have no real counterplay to this. They need to be walking in as 5 and taking some decisive fight, but they're so far behind at this point. VP just continuously just getting the one target down, chasing for another. The sleeps, the shackles, the blood rage amp, like they're not low damage at all when somebody gets blood raged.
And they keep winning all these fights around the rune timings too. Like they're getting all 4 bounty runes this time around, which is like, it doesn't seem like a huge thing, but when you're running a Beastmaster who's just not having to go even far away from his lane every single time to get a full bottle charge, it's spam harass, it's Liquid always behind, it's punishing, and there's no letting up.
Yeah, in the meantime, by the way, Pasha, yeah, he solo killed Monkey King.
Yeah.
That's the hero top net worth for Liquid that you're hoping will eventually carry this game. Like, he gets solar crested, and all of a sudden he just explodes to just a Beastmaster. I think he got the Centaur creep, so he had that extra 2 seconds of stun, which buys you time for another Wild Axe, but still.
With him walking around with his phase boots, he's still hitting over 150 a pop. Like, physical damage with the controlled time.
And this is the downside of the Lich, right? Where you win the lanes, if you snowball, you get those lucky bounces, you feel great, but the game you're behind, you're just frosted. Like, what do you do?
You stay frosty. The only good lucky bounce that Lich Kuro had was the one that bounced to Roger in that mid lane fight. That was kind of it. It didn't get lost in the creep wave. But VP are now going to push in the top lane. There's a tier 1 and a tier 2 tower. There's a fight they want to have. They've got Rupture available. They've got Aegis Immortal in the hands of the Void. They've got Chronosphere up and running. And they've got a BKB and Maelstrom on the Void. They've even got a Maelstrom onto the Wind Ranger with her Blink Dagger. So blinking into shackle shots is a real pain for Liquid to try and dodge. And all Liquid can do is try and do the counter push. Luckily, they do have a Latrak. Downside is, Faceless Void begins the TP, begins the Chronosphere, and that Latrak I was talking about, you blink and he was gone. Solo will arrive, they look for a counter, GH with a Burrow Strike forward, no Chronosphere up, so Solo will fall.
You know,
Liquid at least gets something back.
I don't know if I mind that buyback. Immediately, Mind Control is going to be back into the fray. They know there's no BKB or Chrono on the Void, and he has Aegis, so if there were ever a time you might be able to take a fight, this could be it. And as I said,
look at GH already ready for it.
They're a team fight lineup. Even though they're so far behind, this is their best shot at winning. It's unlikely, but possible.
It's a kill for a kill, support for a core, and a tier 1 and a tier 2 tower trade, but this will make it worth it. Blink, Burrow Strike forward, Beastmaster in trouble. They forced off him out the stun, but GH coming back in for more with the epicenter right in the middle, but with a Rupture. How quickly does that Death Prophet die? Ramses will fall. Remember, it's the Aegis Immortal fight. Team Liquid only have GH left, and he's gone too. Buyback or Aegis, which one's more powerful? Liquid committed so hard to get that fight, knowing they needed something. But there you go. Yeah, as this feedback, this team fight recap shows, they got nothing.
Dude, Matumba Man just explodes. He didn't have time to Yules himself to wand. He just died. I think he tanked a power shot to the face. That's not even the increased damage on the talent. But yeah, you initiate, you get the Q up. But look at Matumba Man. He's already so low. He gets hit twice by Void, 3 times the focus fire from the Wind Ranger, and he caught an axe, I think. And all of a sudden, like, that's it. Beastmaster with already level 20. Holy crap, those axes are doing 220 per, plus the damage amp.
And that expression, yeah, I'm dead, boys. Couldn't even have the facial expression fit into the time it took for him to die. So now VP, look towards the middle lane. Nightmare setup. Matumba's a little bit further out. They don't really have much to work with. Raw's still on cooldown. for 5 more seconds. They're going to bounce the Nightmare over to Kuro, but no one's happy with this. He's got Rupture available, so Matumba, you want to try and fight this. The Raw will control the back lines where you're going to lose Kuro in a little bit, while Matumba, he can't fight that one. No one just turns on the Blade Mail. No one can fight this. It's just really, it feels like it should already be GG. You're buying back out of pure optimism.
I mean, it pretty much is GG at this point, but man, like, I can't... It's incredible to me that VP's down a game in this series when you just watch how well they're playing. Those BKBs were once again near flawless, where they bait the spells. It's the same thing we saw even in the laning stage up top, where they always play on a knife's edge. They force you to address their positioning, and then they just waste your time. Or in that case, you waste your stun, and all of a sudden, GH, what do you do now?
You know, the real reason I didn't believe the panel at the start of this game is because at the end of the draft, VP was sitting there laughing their asses off. They knew that they had themselves a really solid draft, and that's all they really wanted to have against Liquid. Something that can even the playing field and just let them be VP, and that's exactly what we're seeing right now. It's VP in a nutshell.
Yep, dominate the lanes, dominate the mid game, and just absolutely destroy your opponent.
Bounty, 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 bounty. That gold advantage, 26k now. The Blink Dagger on the Beastmaster, so initiation has arrived, and this appears to be the last roll of the dice for Team Liquid. They need something huge. The Dire Scan just wears off as Batuman walks over that area, so they'll come up underneath the shrine, which no one's burning, so he'll have the mana for the fight. He starts the Blood Right. They still feel like something is coming near him, and the Nightmare, Solo, he stops GH's initiation. He'll change target towards Beastmaster, the Chronosphere, the slap down, Faceless Void, he never got him up. They actually will go down to the Lich ulti. They needed something, and they've got it. 3 heroes down for VIRTUS.pro, 2 who do not have buyback. Roger's on the run. Bloodseeker got out, burned the BKB to do it.
Yeah. BP can still win team fights apparently, although Ramses helped him out a little bit. He BKB and then Mask of Madness and silenced himself, and all of a sudden he could no longer leap or cast Chronosphere and just died inside the Monkey King ult.
Maybe that's not the fight they were exactly looking for at the very beginning. I'd love to see that again in slow motion, just see what happens to that Faceless Void, because if Chrono hits, that fight's so different.
He caught the Monkey King stun.
It was before,
and
right?
Essentially just died in that duration. The Monkey King doesn't have much survivability, but with the Echo Saber plus Battle Fury, the moment those Wukongs come out, if you're in the wrong position like the Void was there, I believe he took 3 or 4 of the statues hits to the mouth, and then all of a sudden you've got no survivability, you're dead. And again, yeah, great fight for Liquid. They're going to need at least 1, more likely 2 or 3 more like that if they want to take this game. And it just seems to be so easy for VP to win fights if they start as skirmishes and they get the initiation. Again, I doubted the Bloodseeker with these 2 cores you don't like to buff, but he just keeps using it offensively, and then all of a sudden that target's just tanking axes and a power shot to the face, and it's less than half HP.
Yep. Looks like no one's going to find some kind of defensive item. He's going to get Lincoln Sphere into his quick buy. The Glimmer Cape will be there for the Bane, so they are finding more ways to survive into these fights. The Lincoln Sphere is almost done for Ramses as well. BKB is the choice from Pasha, and you've still got BKB the choice from Wind Ranger. So that sustain that VP need to ensure the Team Liquid do not have another team fight like that, that's what they're farming towards right now.
Yep. Again, I go back to their itemization. They got those BKBs to secure, to sit on that mid-game lead and ensure that they would always be the ones winning fights. And then Maelstrom Void, Radiance Bloodseeker, they haven't fallen off at all. They're still 1-2 in net worth. Even the Monkey King just rushed to Battle Fury. And part of that is a product of just how far ahead they are in the game. But even though Liquid gets that fight, look at how they're forced to position and move around the map. They're 5 in their own woods. VP, you can play wherever you want.
That's not the way the Monkey King wants to play. That's the reason why Monkey King got the +6 of the tree dance cast range, so you can bounce around, push the lanes, farm as much as you can, and then get quickly back into the right lane. Such a long distance jump.
I'd like to see VP pick up a gem sometime soon. Start de-warding offensively. They have the smoke ready. Solo with 3 wards. It's once again time for the VP Vision Adventure. Probably look to maybe make a fight happen in the meantime, but you got to be a little more concerned. You just lost a fight. You want to make sure you regain your composure, properly outline what do we do next. I think you wait for this Bloodseeker to finish his Lincolns. He's going to be grabbing that right after this camp.
Yep. So he'll have the Lincolns. You just got the Lincolns also completed over on Faceless Void. And does he actually have? Yeah, he's got the whole thing. As the BKB recipe is going back for Roger.
And it's a basic maneuver, but if you look at the current gold, you've got less than 1,000 almost gold saved on the VP heroes. They all just buy out items. Now it's time to smoke, place vision, look for an advantage because you spent everything. You're about as strong as you can get. Every second that or minute that goes by is a minute the enemy team could be finishing their items while you've already finished and start sitting on yours.
Both teams are within such a small race of each other. The only difference between the two, EP has smoke. Team Liquid does not. So GH is in the tree line, ready to break it. The jump ball from Monkey King, he actually sees him, goes after bait. Solo, how many times does he beam the bait successfully? They just bring down the Monkey King and the Chronosphere is perfect. 2 heroes caught on the side. There goes Monkey, there goes Lash, there goes Krob. The Lich ulti can bounce around, it'll cancel now. Epicenter, maybe GH gets something in return, Faceless Void. He is barely living away from the Sandstorm and he can time walk out as well. Liquid, they just can't catch a break. Roger will kill Kuro in front of the fountain. That last attack, whoop, no, it's gonna miss. You'll set the up towards the air, Matubberman trying to go after Roger. He's a decent kill with a Crypt Swarm. 450 each thanks to the tier 4 towers helping out. That's how much Roger is worth.
And you can see VP recognize why they lost that previous engagement. Pasha immediately goes for the Monkey King. He explodes. That's the end of the fight. If that ult doesn't go down, there is no way any of Liquid's heroes are going to survive. And they bait Solo. I feel like I've seen that story many times this year where he just wanders in, accepts his mortality, and gives his life for his team to ensure that they can find the follow-up team fight.
You know, Solo's one of those guys that maybe he can actually achieve the Melk Award. Like a Melk Award in a tier 1 game. He's actually he's probably the first one that can do it after Melk.
Game's changed a bit since Melk was good at Dota, Toby.
Yeah.
I don't know if you can get away with that.
I take issue with that statement. Melk was never good at Dota. Roshan's gonna go down. Aegis Immortal and Cheese. The buyback's already come out from Roger, and they know what they've got. It's the extra life into Faceless Void, the Cheese at no one, and GH into the Sandstorm, but dust up. Rogers is BKB, he doesn't care. Kuro will go down as well, and they found an extra one. Ramses, he'll just stand his ground. Miracle, the Fiend script just locked him up, and Ramses gets an extra time off for good measure. Matama wants to jump out, won't happen, so top lane, you lose it. That's the game, that really is the game. GG, Kuro will call it. We level this best of 5 grand final super major beautiful game of awesomeness of Dota at 1 apiece.
It's just so good. There's again so much you could talk about. I just have this big ass smile on my face.
So you can go all the way back to September last year. 9% rate for the last 1,100.
10 seconds remaining.
Now the answer is probably no because Warlock would make a awkward support duo with it. But you do have to at least think about picking up A and moving the Wind Ranger to core.
Who would play that on Liquid?
Kuro would, in that case, play the AA. GH would shift over to the Warlock because Warlock, I mean, there are teams that have run Warlock as a 4 this season, but that's very unlikely.
Oh, stupid me, it's a green hero. It's a green hero, Anna.
Oh, yeah.
Liquid. We know who plays the green Liquids, right?
There's also, of course, the Visage that's still on the board.
I'm not thinking.
No.
No, I was talking about the Wind Ranger. If you shift the Wind Ranger, it's green. It's not, awfully green like the Venom or the Viper, but it's...
Wait, can I ask a question?
Yeah.
Do it, man. Of course.
What are your guys' predictions for this one right here, this game?
This game?
I like
VIRTUS.pro's turn to bat. Mirana.
I'm not totally August Iron. Like, good team fight, but
I just think we've seen 2 straight games where I think BP has gotten more out of the lanes than they should. In game 1, I think Liquid on paper had the stronger lanes. In game 2, I think BP took a small laning advantage and made it into a big one. And this is the kind of lineup that if you get more out of the lanes than you should against this lineup of Liquid, you can snowball. So I actually like that VP draft quite a bit.
oh, there is actually not a single part of it that I like.
All right, fair enough.
I feel like it's very low damage, very slow in that regard. Like their last pick has to be able to do so much for them. Meanwhile, I feel
they
like
banned the OD.
Liquid on their side, you've got this because they've
Yeah, okay.
I feel this is so funny for me sat here, right? Because Jeremy in the middle feels like he's got a devil on one shoulder and an angel on the other shoulder. And I'm actually not sure which way round it is. Well, because I don't know which way round. I don't know.
Jeremy, please tell me that you're doing my analysis right now. I need this apology.
Oh, come on. No way.
I mean, I'm not as in-depth as you guys, but I was going to go Team Liquid more so. I was going to say that earlier, mainly because I feel like they're going to respond really well in terms of just adversity, and they seem like a very even-keeled.
There you go, the Drow strat.
Yeah, they're going to finish off with the Drow.
You're on a timer,
though. It's a Drow windrunner, by the way.
Pango hates life right now.
He does.
He's facing a Drow Ranger in lane. Either that or he's facing a Beast, VIRTUS.pro, weird aggro.
10 seconds remaining.
Now you've got Liquid. We're going to pressure the hell out of the game.
5 seconds remaining.
Again, it's going to sound like I'm backpedaling here, and I'm really not. My faith in the on-paper analysis of the draft is shaken by the fact that VP played the laning phase so well in the first 2 games. You know, I think this is an early game lineup by Liquid. It's one they're very comfortable with. It's one that they should win the lanes hard. But if VP can slow that down, they're going to be in good shape.
Oh, I have no idea. Oh, man.
Me too.
How about what? No one TA?
Maybe, I think just fighting hero.
Admiral Kunkka.
Kunkka. Very nice. Very nice. All right.
I was obviously going to guess Kunkka.
Yeah, me too.
I saw you looking. Yeah, I saw you looking at each other. It was obvious you were thinking Kunkka. It just came out.
All right.
All right. Draft done. We need some predictions, but I think what we'll do this time, because obviously Jeremy will want some advice from both sides of his angelic side and his devilish side. Right. We'll want both of you, and I don't know which side it is, to come forward with your proposal. Team has the better draft. I'm
gonna let Cap go first. I had to go first last time.
I mean, I already made my spiel. It doesn't change, all right? It's not going to make a difference. The leader of this Liquid lineup, Drow Ranger, they have pretty good setup with their phase. No damage. Jeremy, please go for Team Liquid. You can have a 100% prediction rate on the panel and walk away from this forever knowing that you're a winner in Dota 2 at the end.
I am going to play this role because I feel like it helps the segment. Jeremy, don't believe the hype. VP has owned the lanes in 2 straight games. They're going to find a way to make it work in the early game in this Ramsey's Morphling. He's going to be the LeBron James on the court. He's going to... Oh, wait, he's going to lose 0-4 in the finals. I'm picking Liquid. I'm picking Liquid.
Okay.
Yeah, it sounds like I had to go with Liquid here, you know, and before I got on the analyst desk, you guys told me not to waver, not to be persuade, and I was going to choose Liquid before I got on here, so I got to stick with my gut.
All right. Okay. It's 3 out of 3. Can Jeremy Lin end the show with 100% prediction correctness? We'll find out as we head into game number 3. And I tell you what, there's another man who's excited of our broadcast team, loves the Drow Ranger. Is currently Mr. Toby1. Take it away, Toby.
She's a beautiful hero, but I think you fucked up, Jeremy. Like,
30 seconds.
We really have.
Liquid's got this. What are you talking about?
Liquid's got this. Never underestimate VIRTUS.pro. They would never. I like the idea, but they've got a lot of ways to control the Drow Ranger.
They would need something miraculous here. I think they got to crush the lanes. They need to force. They need to win the lanes so that they can find the team fights. Because, like Cap said, if this Liquid lineup gets any momentum going, they're unstoppable. But again, this is not a free game. All right, maybe 60-40. But the thing is, Liquid has such an easier time closing a game if they find a lead. VP really need to continue outplaying.
Like how Pasha just has to take so much damage. It just yeah, okay. So celebration is in store for losing so much life, as well as both the bounty runes on the top lane. But you are right. But I know I always worry about Drow Ranger when there's so many ways that she can be controlled and they can close the distance on her. So if Team Liquid does have this laning phase, I'm with you, 100%. But with the early nerfs to the Drow Ranger aura, I always question it just a little bit more.
It's just the Wind Ranger factor as well. We saw that game previously. Roger's hero damage was 400 behind #1 on his team. That hero outputs so much, even without a Drow Aura, and I love the way they handled their lanes. You put 2 ranged heroes bottom to abuse the Aura, you're going to be able to go toe-to-toe with the tri-lane of VP, and mid lane, Beastmaster has a significant damage advantage against Takunka. He'll do much better here than Mirana, so I really like the way Liquid handled this.
Yeah, he doesn't really give anything over to no one. It's like melee versus melee, but Mind Control's got the extra damage. You can go the inner beast and nothing but axes. So he's not going to feed anything over. This bottom lane has kind of just been going hammering at each other. Like GH, he's low on life and he knows it, but I don't think he really cares. He's doing 53 damage, combine that with the Orb of Venom, and that's the reason why they've managed to drag 3 heroes down to the bottom lane. I was mentioning to you during the draft, like I love a Drow Ranger lineup when you're able to create space for her and get it to level 6. And you're like, wow, there's no way VP can aggressively tri-lane against her. Against this dual offlane? Yeah, you're right, 100%. Like, this is the nightmare start for VP. No way to contest the Drow Ranger's farm, no way to make her have to split experience too heavily. They need something that can force Liquid to worry.
Well, it's more they want to get their Morphling ahead at all costs. That's the hero that can actually take them through. Kunkka and the rest of the lineup can run around, effectively take 4 on 5 team fights, no problem, but the Morph needs a game, and he's actually a lot more susceptible to being aggroed on than a Drow. In fact, I think the Drow tri-lane from Liquid would handle this tri-lane of VP. Like, Morph is just so weak this early laning phase, but you can see they're already, it's pretty much trading down bottom. Even though it's 2-on-3, 5-4 versus 8-7, you'll take that if you're Liquid.
Pasha, you gotta be careful, man. Like, I know you got an entire creep wave there, and Dro's not level 6, but he's just dropping down so low. He's got no more consumables yet. He's trying to get the bottle up and running, but it's taking some time.
Yeah. Tumbleman doing a great job, though, just maintaining lane pressure. I love how he chose to itemize as well, just immediately going for that Bandit Elven skin. He'll buy treads at some point, just increasing the damage output of his teammates around the map and ensuring he gets as many last hits as possible. But this is the Pango play, as the panel was saying. Very weak stats, not the greatest laner.
GH in trouble, netted up. He's going to start his TP already. The waveform Ramses can spill first blood. They needed something out of this defensive tri-lane, and they got it. And it is the support, not the core.
It's a big kill. Thing is that the lane is pushing, though, so they don't have the easy camp either. Quite unfortunate. You're going to be just shoving right into Miracle Mirana. You have no real kill potential either for quite some time. Disruptor, obviously, in a tri-lane, you're not going to find the levels to actually lock down Miracle for 3-4 more minutes at least. And look at Kuro, Warlock comes down.
They're going up for Mind Control. Roger's going to come in with that Riptide, so Mind Control going to lose a lot of armor out of this. And Berry Fire tries to stand his ground and fight. That will not work. So second kill for VIRTUS.pro has arrived at bottom lane. Miracle, Kuro, and GH all chasing down after Solo with a Fatal Bond's difficult to survive. Ramses forced to waveform defensively back behind his own tower.
I really like that play from Liquid, especially because they did it as the creep wave pushed into them. So not only do they find the kill, they get 3 creeps fully denied because no one on VP is there to soak up XP. And up top, you've given Drow a lead. He's level 5. Pasha level 3. You can't do anything now if you're Pasha.
When Pasha goes for a jump like this, next time around, when Dro's level 6, he's dead. It's actually so hard to get away because you get the 2 points up in the cold arrows from Atom, and Ramsey's on the run. Once again, the Fatal Bonds is going to connect them together. Miracle looks for the arrow and connects. While they're killing Ramses, they're killing Solo. It's a 2-for-1 special. Solo has just enough life to survive to get back to the tower, but as Matumberman hides up in the tree line, they'll finally find him. Pasha and Roger dive. TP support, they're going to bring one in. It's going to be the Wind Ranger, and Roger and Pasha kind of got what they wanted. They're already pushing back. GH looking to try and fight. They've closed the distance, still under a Ranger. No point up in the gust. That's the downside of the 203 build, but Roger, the amount of damage onto him is enough to find the kill. Waveform from Ramses. He'll arrive to bring down Matumberman as Pasha still clinging to life. GH will keep the chase going. Morphling, waveform in 2, 1, and bounty. Now he could just walk it off.
You love this though if you're Liquid because you're put in a position where your carry is just going to completely crush the safe lane unless there's heavy rotation. VP make that happen, but Miracle got 2 free waves bottom. Now you're going to put Pango down here, but I don't think he's going to fare much better against Mirana, and in truth, I don't think Morphling can play top. Look at this.
Is there enough? Like, they're trying to wait until they're diving in with a creep wave underneath this tower. Shadow Word as well as Power Shot. GH goes down underneath the tower. I'm wondering if this is what they classify as too deep.
Maybe a little bit.
Oh, Ramsey's even coming back in. They're trying to give him the last hit. Waveform to get him into position. One more attack. Okay, someone just do it. They ensnare to hold him there and get the kill. Ramses will be shadow worded up, but the Shrine will bring him back to full life. Meanwhile, Miracle had a little bit of fun on bottom lane, killing off Pasha.
This is such a weak lane for, like, look at the damage. He has 110 on the Mirana with a killer and a want, just thanks to the Drow Aura, who has hit 6s, you've said, and it's at 6 minutes into the game. Like, this is incredible for your Mirana's laning prowess, and Pango really has nowhere to play, and yeah, you have some good kills for Ramses up top, but honestly, like, he needs 3 or 4 items before he can even face the Liquid lineup, and Drow is a counter to Morphling. He'll catch a silence in the mid game and just die. I'm
also wondering, too, like, how Montupperman builds this. You can see the buff up this coming in to like a hero like a Mirana. Do you actually amplify this up more? Do you go for the heavy agility items? You can still go Dragon Lance into Manta, and it's a huge stat increase that he's able to share across the board. Ramsey's on the run into the trees. GH, mind controls. He's got Raw. He'll get it off before the Glint is able to complete. And this means Morphling turns for an adaptive strike, but is still dead. Doesn't even have the 1 point up in silence, but able to utilize the Beastmaster.
It's a 16 CS Morphling at 7 minutes. And there's no real way to recover in this game because none of these lanes are safe for a Morphling. He wants to be babysat. He wants to have the sort of game that Motumbaman had on Drow, but...
VP found themselves an opening. They'll commit everything, ship included. Oh, the shackle, GH, no way! Mind control, the fatal bonds is up, so mind control will go down. No one's able to get the cleave off, but all this damage is being spilled out. All they have to do is just focus killing no one, and they get the kill onto Solo. Ensnare, Roger creates some more space. Kuro kept back out. GH has the power shot available, lines it up, will miss it. No one walking back down to the river to get his feet wet, and the shackle, it will not flash, not up to the trees. GH in once again, a little too deep. Pasha just gets the shield block off. Roger goes back in again for Kuro. GH just soloed the torrent. It won't connect. Pasha, he's got another jump in 10 seconds time to catch it, but now the rest of Liquid have rotated in towards the mid lane. They want to try and bring down this tower and bring back VIRTUS.pro.
Great rotation. Like the Drow shows up in the lane. Top was shoved. That tower's already down. Move towards mid.
You got to take every single one now, right? Like every time a tier 1 tower falls, Drow goes to the other lane. Torrent is out. Miracle leads, sees it from a mile away. And they'll get the extra. Conquer into Disruptor.
I'm telling you, man, this Wind Ranger hero,
he's a thing.
Already been a part of 8 out of 9 kills, and even though he's gone a little deep at times, GH making the plays.
It's that it's the sacrifice you're willing to make. We were discussing it previously with how great VP, especially Solo, is at this sacrificial support. But yeah, the same thing is happening from Liquid. Even if it's to death or not, it's creating so much space for the rest of the course to do work. And now you see Drow Ranger. Top tower is gone, mid tower's gone. Movement's coming to bottom. Yep. It's a systematic annihilation of VP buildings.
Yeah, and VP, like, their supports aren't 6, and they won't be for some time. You need them to be able to actually do anything around the map. You don't have the ability to take these team fights your draft is built for until your supports can get involved. Kunkka is not enough. Level 1X, like, sure, you can come down bottom, try and blow somebody up, but look.
Gust able to hit perfectly, and with the level 4 Starfall, that is one of the simplest kills you're going to see in this grand final.
Yep. And I like the movement. They saw the rotations coming. They sniff them out, and in the meantime, just TP out. Kuro's still farming top. Drow backs away. Miracle.
Yeah. Drow's got a triple camp to farm. You're not losing any time.
No. And they're going to continue to outfarm just because of how their heroes accelerate. They are a mid-game lineup. VP's Morphling, he needs 2 or 3 items before he's even relevant, let alone actually superior to his counterparts on Liquid.
All right, so how does VP deal with this now? Like, you said they needed a miracle. Let's talk about miracles. Obviously, not the Liquid one.
And I don't want to say that this game is over and done with, but they have to ensure they mirror the map, get the supports involved, try and just stop the bleeding. You want that top or mid tower as Liquid goes for this bottom one, but I just don't think it's possible because Liquid's doing such a great job of shoving lanes. Look at mid. Naga forced to just catch this creep wave far on his side of the river. Up top, Kuro just shoving here. And in the meantime, Mirana, Drow hitting bottom tower already. Total map control. The ward as well on the bottom shrine. Like, they have already created a crease that they're keeping VP in, dominating over 70% of the map 10 minutes into the game.
And it's a wonderful performance, not gonna lie. But I try and stay optimistic. 10 minutes into a game, let's not call GG straight off, even though the panel was very certain it was a good draft for Team Liquid. Let's draw range. A lineup is always a difficult thing to try and stop. And it's not like it really stops momentum, right? Because you look at the lineup when you have a drone. Like normally you say...
He did? Oh, he got the... He has to shift off, otherwise that might have been a kill. Well played by Mind Control.
They can turn around. Going to go after the Beastmaster. X marks spot. Will pull Mind Control back into the Torrent. They will team up 3 heroes. Avoid the Axes. Avoid the damage. Avoid losing the Courier. And killing Mind Control. Yeah. Meanwhile, Shackle in mid. GH, he's got 2. Getting caught inside the wall. Solo has Glimpse available. GH knows he cannot walk away from this one. The Thunderstrike just kept giving him the extra vision. And no one, X mark, Rock. Okay, maybe he can. The support is there. GH gets pulled back in, so it's a 1-for-1 trade-up. Kuro can be at the ultimate, but now friends have arrived. They got the Gust over on the Naga, so Song of the Siren was not an option for VIRTUS.pro as they retreat to their tier 2.
Yeah, really well played, and that's the benefit of killing these towers. You kill the tier 1 bot, shove that in, all of a sudden it's an easy connection. You have 2 cores that all of a sudden pincer what was a good start of a fight for VP just turns into a trade.
We're going with the normal build up for the Drow Ranger. Dominator build and instantly finds an Alpha Warp, so damage increase going through the roof. Meanwhile, Bo on Kuro. With the Swashbuckle, the jump forward, chasing after Kuro into the Rolling Thunder. Pasha keeps the stun going and needs to bounce back over towards GH, but GH moves around so quick with the Wind Run. Pasha's Rolling Thunder wears off, but thanks to Solo, are able to hold him in with the kinetic field. And Pasha hides in the trees, dodging those range axes and power shots.
Keep in mind though, VP, you saw there the strength of that Pango Rolling Thunder. They always have the ability to win a team fight if they get the Song combo off. Maybe an X boat and 2 or 3 heroes. They have that AoE power. It's just that they're going to be playing the game effectively 4-on-5 for the next 10 minutes because Morph still really isn't a hero in the game. In fact, I'm so impressed that he's managed to keep pace with the opposing cores on Liquid, considering just how poor the start of his game was. But that's just Ramses.
Yep. It's also because they try to give him the space. Like, he's managed to find 3 kills. A lot of this came later in the game too. And then they give him the space on top lane to find that farm. While Miracle may look for a nice long-range arrow, it's the bottom lane that's being pressured. It's the tier 2 tower that VP are smoked up behind. They're sending the illusions out from Naga.
Yep.
Great way to scout.
He's smoked as well with Song ready. Disruptor level 6 as well. This is the sort of window VP could take a fight, pick off 2 or 3 right away. No Golem available either.
Yep. Without that rock, Song of the Siren, do you want to let it rip? You're in a good position. Mind Control, the smoke's going to break right on top of the Observer Ward. Roger, watching Mind Control walk away, so ensnare to begin with. They need a little bit more of a jump. They need more vision. Solo just doesn't have it. They cannot glimpse Mind Control back into a bad position. And now Mirana will TP over. Morphling is still on top lane farming.
Yep, I like that.
And they're going to smoke as well.
Like that decision a lot. You cannot take this fight 4-on-5. Bring your Mirana.
Moonlight Shadow come underneath the Sentry Ward. Naga Siren's the first one. She's the one that's meant to help the disengage, while the Shackle from GH will not land. Pasha trying to bounce away with the shield crash. GH coming underneath the tower, a little bit too deep, and Wind Run on cooldown. So Rolling Thunder from Pasha goes to work. He's solo on live. I'm not certain you want to go back into this fight. Turns left, but Miracle has the damage from range. Now Waveform forward. The Disruptor Storm is perfect from Solo. Miracle, he leaps with the Starfall. He actually does go down. Ramses managed to hit him from long range with the rock from Kuro. Back off cooldown. No jump away from Ramses. He'll turn. Actually, yeah, he will. He'll turn into Mirana. Has a leap available. Has a second one. Has a third one.
Oh,
this the bouncing cat. Oh, what? Bullshit! He hit him from range. The axe has reached that far.
Oh, he got cocky. His team's distracting him. They're spamming the chat wheel already like he's out of dodge. Great axes from Mind Control, but at the end of the day, that's a little bit of a miscue from Ramses, although I can't believe he made it out. That was the boat buff coming into effect. He is so tanky with the rum on him.
Oh my god. Roger just misses the ensnare on the TP out hero too. And they get the glimpse.
Yep.
Mind Control caught out, so VIRTUS.pro they'll find themselves yet another kill. That fight on bottom lane was still amazing for them. Like, you never want to underestimate like what Solo can do on Disruptor, or Solo can do in general as far as control and fights go, and it was wonderful for him. Arrow for Miracle will miss.
Not only do you have the glimpse this game, but you got the X as well.
X marks going into the boat. One more attack should do it. They'll give it to Pasha. Much needed money.
This is the one. This is the thing. VP's reach is incredible. You have X and Glimpse. You're always going to find these exit kills, and there's nobody on Liquid that can really frontline. They're all trying to be evasive, mobile, out-farm, find skirmishes, but their team fight is still a bit weak, and GH, for like the third time this game, going in way too far. I mean, we can watch in the replay, but GH has already died a while ago, and this is the Mirana escape, or should I say the Morphling escape, where he wands the tread swap, here come the axes, his team distracts him, and then all of a sudden he just continues walking straight back, ends up catching though. I don't know if he could have dodged.
It was...
He was just as surprised as we were.
What? It was maximum range you could hit with this.
Still though, I mean, Morph's back in this.
Morph's back in this, but now Drow Ranger hits level 2 in the marksmanship. The damage continues to increase. You're now looking at plus 54 damage for all range heroes on the map.
And you can see the items coming up for Miracle. He's got the Dragon Lance, queued up Maelstrom and BKB, and that's the critical item because this Kunkka will crush through every single team fight, specifically because he can just X the Mirana. There's nothing you can do with your Miracle. You're just going to tank that full combo straight to the face, and then in the meantime, the rest of the draft can just finish you off. Same with Glimpse. Like, it's a very difficult Mirana game until he has more items.
Thank you for moving no one. The arrow actually didn't stand perfectly still. Matumba, GH, and Kuro all got a 3-man smoke up next to the tier 1 tower. It's invasion time.
This is still tough. Again, you have so many heroes. You need to deal with the Naga and also fear the Kunkka, because if this boat hits on 2 or 3, you're in trouble. You want this initial pickoff. I like the ward. They're going to set up.
Yep.
Don't allow VP to take possession of the tower where TPs become effective.
Kunkka's visible with that double damage through the shackle, combining with the rock, and they're going to get the huge fight of Bonsong with the Siren from Roger trying to reset it, but it's already too late. 2 heroes down. Solo can be walked away back to safety. Roger. Oh my God! Again! The range power shot! You'd be dead!
Dude, and that's 30 seconds of window where you can just go high ground. You have a wolf.
Oh my God, they got the rock just sit in the front lines for him and tank it. Kunkka has to fight back. Torrent trying to delay the attack. He can at least hit onto Miracle. The boat is up. They can try and slow it down, but the tier 3 tower is gone. We're 18 minutes in. This is the dream scenario for a Drow Ranger. You're able to beat into a melee Rax, turn on the aura, and just go nuts. There goes your melee. No one. He's throwing stuff, but I don't know what he's throwing. Right now, it's just like throwing feathers at Liquid. They're patting their pillow for a deep night slumber. They turn, look for a fight. Matumba caught inside the storm. GH is outside of it, looking for the perfect shackle line or power shot. He'll miss everything in the rolling thunder from Pasha. Really effective, but then again, so is the leap in from Miracle. The attack speed increase right after Solo. Even with the Drow Ranger dead, they've got the extra damage. Ramses tries to get something in return, and he will find it. It'll be the Beastmaster, but then again, Wind Ranger, runned up, wants to keep the run going. No shield crush. Roger, so low in life, able to actually get a little bit of a mirror image. Buy some more time, but Miracle still finishes the job. That was a dieback as well from the Naga.
So well played by Miracle. He lands the arrow on the teleport. No response possible from Roger.
Miracle is going back in again. Misses the arrow completely. You shouldn't have praised him. The curse is real. Kura will die as well. Ramses wants to go for more. Need to slow down GH. The shield crushes off cooldown in 2 seconds time. GH with the power shot. Ramses and Pasha, they're still connected with the Fatal Bond. They need the vision on GH. The leap forward, and they got it. There's your glimpse. Solo pulling back GH. The shackle won't latch. A triple kill for Ramses. He is now #1 in the net worth, but they have no bottom lane of racks.
That's about the best you can hope for, though, if you're VP. I mean, I'm surprised they didn't just take the melee and get out. You can ditch one, your Drow die, but in the meantime, Marana's like leaping into base, and then he does it again. Got away with it once, but they force a bunch of buybacks. Now it's still, VP really hasn't got their chance to actually take a set-up team fight. That was a great move from Liquid. They place the ward, they take possession of that hill, and then start the fight 7 seconds before VP is aware of it, but if you take a bad fight in the pit and you lose Aegis, all of a sudden this Morphling becomes a real issue. But for now, you still have a dominating lead. But you just got to keep it going. You're a Drow strat. Keep the pace high.
They're looking for it. They Moonlight Shadow to try and invade into the northern side of VP. No one's already using X marks to spot Miracle. Okay, Mind Control will just roar and Miracle's waiting. Come back to me, come back to me. He came back to him. And the Song of the Siren is good from Roger. He can get a 3-man waveform, but it's solo. He needs the Storm and the Wall, and he's got both of them. The Rolling Thunder through, then the waveform. Miracle will die so quickly, and they'll get as well Mind Control running off to the side. They turn back over towards Matamba, and they'll let Roger take care of the Beastmaster over on the side, while the main fight, they're looking for the big one. It's Matamba, the shackle from GH, it latches, but only on the Pango. He had 18 stacks of the crush, so took almost no damage, and GH glimpse, come on back! GH will go down, and into Roshan, VP will go! They have to buy back, they have to try and contest this.
And you can't take these fights yet if you're Liquid. You have no BKBs. This Song combo, whoever gets caught is going to go down. Now the cooldowns, I like the buyback. You can't give up Roche here if you're Liquid. Your lead is not substantial enough, and an Aegis Morphling could just turn things around.
And they need that Aegis to push high ground too, right? Like you're not looking for just like another tier 2 or tier 3 town. You're looking to claim another Rax.
Yep, you need this Aegis because you still can't fight into Song until BKBs. This buys you the time to get there and the freedom to maybe take out these shrines, add to your lead, secure a bit more map control. That's why you can't count VP out.
Yeah. Wow. That's a great lesson, Kyle. That's a great lesson. Around the middle, around Roshan, Liquid, all very much grouped up. VIRTUS.pro, they've got Storm off cooldown, 13 seconds time. Solo's just trying to make sure there's no vision from Liquid, but they've got the wards on the cliffside. Kuro will de-ward it straight away, reveals where his obs is, but they won't care when they have the Aegis in their hands. And it is in the hands of Miracle. It will not go into the hands of the Drow.
If there's no Song, you cannot fight if you are VP. Naga now level 12, so this next Song will only be the 2-minute cooldown.
So Liquid just pushed. They got 1 minute to go up. That's going to be difficult when Fortification will buy more time. But Roger, oh god, this is a huge pick. He's underneath the Dire Observer Ward. That's where they had the sentry before. The Shackle doesn't latch onto Roger. Miracle, hard to get an arrow when the creep wave's going to be there, so it'll just leap. And Roger dodges. Keep the movement moving into the base, but the power shot from GH cannot dodge that.
They really well played by Liquid. Immediate invis, hunt on their ward. That's what sets up the kill on Roger. They place another one as they pack.
That's quick. And that's going to be quicker. Haste Room bottled up. And the mech build up from Pango. All about sustain for his team.
And the big item is going to be Ramsey's BKB. As soon as he picks that up, he'll at least be able to enter a fight and not be incredibly fearful of just catching a stun or a silence.
Pango's got to stop playing underneath these Dire Observer wards. They're everywhere, of course. But he needs some freedom.
Yeah, I love the vision from Kuro. So many wards. He just placed 2 or 3 in the last couple of minutes. This one on the high ground hill is going to fade, but he placed that one to the left that we just looked at.
Radiant's middle tower,
and then 2 more up on the Radiant Ancient.
I'm liking this from Pasha. He just cleans up the wave on top. They're forced to fortify Team Liquid. It helps because their creep wave can stay alive underneath the tier 2 tower, but it's trying to keep that tier 1 tower alive on the top and not give any extra cash, because it may mean the difference between Morphling having a BKB and Morphling having 2 pieces of it. At least when the fight starts for Liquid. Yeah. But it hasn't. They're moved over to Shrines.
Yep, I like it. You can get the tier 2s for free. Going high ground against this lineup of VP is very difficult, and they've already demonstrated maybe too much willingness to dive past the tier 3s, and that can get you heavily punished against this Disruptor Naga Pango lineup. And again, not forgetting the Kunkka. Drum's Armlet now, Pasha as well with the mech and the blink. He's going to go Crimson Guard next, an incredibly key item against Liquid. You need Greaves and Crimson. As soon as those items are picked up, Morph with his next DPS item after BKB, that's where things start to shift for VP, because all of a sudden Liquid's damage output just isn't there. Look at how valuable the Crimson Guard is going to be in this game. Mirana, Beast, Drow, Wind Ranger, it's the most... You can't ask for more if you're thinking about buying this item.
I was really fearful for VP just saying that there was smoke on top of the Dire Observer Ward, the one that Liquid left behind after they ganked up on bottom lane. That one little obs could have seen everything, but they did see him go north.
This is the right move from Liquid, though. It's measured aggression. You need the BKBs. Like I said, you can't actually contest the Naga Song until you pick these up. You're going to bottle a DD on Miracle's Mirana. He's going to have his BKB in about 300 gold. Drow has just finished his. You still have Aegis for another 2 minutes. And you can see Miracle just farming up. They're going to get the bounty runes. They're going to probably be able to control all 4. That's going to be a huge influx of gold.
They can move down towards the shrine. They know the minions are attacking it, but they're wondering if mind control's nearby too. They need a little bit of extra vision on that hillside to grab him. The dust comes out from Roger. The mind control, yeah, as you glimpse, cancels off the TP. And mind control will be rooted and brought down. That's a good kill in for Ramses. As the BKB, didn't have to use it, but now it's an extra 1,000 gold after completing the BKB.
That's a big pickoff though, because it removes the timing for Liquid to just easily push with the Aegis. Now you're going to have more of a clock. 41 seconds on the respawn, 1 minute 20 on Aegis. This one might just have to be squandered. You don't want to take a fight without one.
Alright, so top lane, Tunk is finally getting a little bit of extra space, but Tumberman is well inside the jungle. Getting that Kunker back into something a little bit more relevant. Closer towards the Beastmaster. Ooh. Dodge the gust. Get the hell out. I thought for a moment like he had more damage than what he had. Hence this fight could have made a little bit more sense. And Solo's looking for some vision. They're looking for the glimpse. Blink forward from Pasha. Goes for the dust and then gets gusted back. Already able to swashbuckle away to safety.
BKBs though. You're very hesitant to initiate onto Matumbaman now. He gets that BKB off, all of a sudden, a turnaround potential.
They backed off too once they realized that GH was underneath the Sentry Ward. The Moonlight Shadow wasn't the cover they were really hoping it would be. Someone needs to go bottom. This is the Thorn and VP side. Rather large creep wave, and then of course Draw Ranger just clicks Aura.
Yep.
and the push is real. When range creeps, range Raxes actually do mean a lot more for Team Liquid. Especially if you can get momentum in the creeps.
Yep, you're going to get the bottom shrine. So again, Liquid not really getting anything more than what they should be taking. They get both shrines. They took all 4 bounty runes at 25 minutes. So their lead has grown from about 7,000 when they took that Roche to now 10. But again, VP, they know what their window is.
That experience is pretty damn close though. Like it's sitting at like 700, 800 experience difference.
It's just the nature of having a Drow lineup plus a Beastmaster. All 3 of these cores can farm incredibly effectively. We've got second item Maelstrom on a Wind Ranger who had a great start. They're not only farming the lanes, they're also getting all of VP's jungle, whereas VP, you can see even right now, sitting 5 heroes in base. They're going to smoke behind the Morphling, but they want to get some semblance of map control, and they know Aegis has just faded.
Yep, and they got the Blink Dagger on the Naga. This is that initiation jump that they're looking for, and they're so grouped up, Team Liquid. This is what enables that Solo to just do his thing, but Naga Siren, they don't have any information on the hillside, so it will be a blind Song into jump, and that's not something they want to do. So they glimpse back the Warlock. Song of the Siren is out. Pasha already started the Rolling Thunder, and maybe now they're trying to work out who they go on. The Storm never came down, so Kura got his rock, and Fatal Falls off. Not to mention GH's position. The Shackle was superb. They get the power shot out too. Ramses, he wanted to do a whole bunch of damage in this fight, but nothing happens. He just turns into GH, tries to run away, and the Storm and Wall used defensively. This is not the dream for VIRTUS.pro. Kunker's in trouble. Miracle attacking from the side. He's low on life and then gets pulled back away. Staying alive with the one charge as GH is a triple kill. He's looking for the quad. No one's inside the base. The roar is up. The power shot's there. They give it to him and GG, well played. Team Liquid take the fight. No buybacks on VP. No hope. And Team Liquid are 2-1 now in this grand final.
He's a GH power shot. He got the talent. It just killed Ramses. I think that fight's probably already settled, but at the same time, when your hard carry goes from 50% HP to nothing...
I think
the miracle option is going to be...
Invoker feels terrible.
Yeah, Invoker feels terrible. I think OD or Storm probably.
Yeah. I think I'm on board with this. Of all you said, I'm on board with the Storm pick.
Storm is just scary against the DP and Lion.
I like the OD save, but...
I don't want to have the monkey mid against DP.
Oh my god, no.
It doesn't sound good. Maybe they just pull out... What can they pull out? Because right now they have nothing to do with Slark. They definitely need a hero to deal with him.
Oh, wait. I guess they could Tinker.
They could Tinker.
Although, I mean, doesn't Slark just hunt you? You pick Tinker?
You have to be very careful where you blink into the trees, because there's a lot of little holes now they can run through. So if he ever catches you, you die, pretty much.
Yeah, exactly.
Penguin's dangerous too. So it's either going to be Storm, OD, maybe Tinker.
How about Ember?
The lane is not that favorable, and you're quite afraid of the line. You have silences.
Tinker. Okay, they will go the Tinker. Yeah, it's That's been their trump card before, but I don't think they've had to deal with nearly this difficult a matchup in either of the games yesterday.
You saw them, like, they took a lot of time to pick it. Yesterday was like more like a snap pick.
Yes.
But now they thought about it for over a minute. I mean, I'm sure they're comfortable with it, but not as confident as they were yesterday, really.
Yeah, this feels like it's going to be
a
hard tinker for a while.
And,
well,
I'm not even sure they have the stronger lane. So
they got to outplay to win, honestly.
Yeah.
Like, they put them in a pretty...
You got unfavorable core matchups. I think you probably have the weaker lane. Oh, DP.
Okay. DP for Alan. Back.
Well, now he's got to go, right?
Oh, you're going last this time?
Yeah,
okay. All right.
I'm going to get insulted again.
There it is.
I think so,
okay.
too.
So 2 for VIRTUS.pro, Black, and you're agreeing, are you?
Yeah. I think it's very rough for Liquid. They can do it, they can outplay, but just like from this standpoint, it'll be rough.
Swipe game 2 from your memory, that never happened.
Alright, okay. Our panel are going for a 100% prediction record. 3 of the 4 games anyway, as we head to game number 4 with your commentators.
Hey, I'm happy to go with any kind of prediction that gives me a game 5, and as we were both sitting here looking at this draft as well, I think we're siding with the panel. VIRTUS.pro look like they have a very, very strong lineup. That Liquid, the Tinker was the answer they chose, but not the best answer in the world.
It seems like in this series, the team that's able to play faster just takes it. They're both so high skill. The mid-game seems to just leave one side with a definitive advantage, and then all of a sudden they're one fight away from taking the game. And right now, I love, like, you saw how fast they 3-4'd Lion Slark. The Lion prevents the Slark pick, which would have been excellent up against, you know, a DP and a Chen. Then they just take it themselves, and this is not quite a free Slark game, but if you play well as Ramses, and traditionally he usually does pretty okay,
yeah.
I think you're going to be in a good spot.
Well, he's going to start up on the top lane, so Chen's influence is going to change these lanes up a hell of a lot.
It's a great choice, too, because they sniff out the aggro from Liquid. You don't want to put your Slark in this sort of position, and whenever you're playing with Chen, you want him in the off lane. It allows him to threaten mid, and it's easier to play both jungles, whereas if you play safe lane, you really can't move around too much, and you're going to end up just like kind of a try-v-try, but Chen, you always want him able to move.
Yep, because you got to remember also the coach of VIRTUS.pro, Artstyle, a man who has done that time and time again for the off lane. It was kind of the bread and butter when he returned to Na'Vi after a long time away that allowed Na'Vi to win for a, well, week. Yeah. But Roger's able to do this and help out Solo and Ramses in this off lane. Mid lane is still going to be the matchup of Tinker going up against the Death Prophet. Then on bottom lane, the Mirana versus the Pangalia. This time Mirana with no Drow Ranger buff up, no extra help on that front. But you're seeing GH looking to fight. He definitely wants to have these camps stacked up. Maybe a little bit happy to see that both of these camps are actually not blocked by the Observer or the Sentry. So he will be able to stack and then get extra damage in through the Spirit.
You're playing with a Chen, so yeah, he's going to just stand in the hard camp, really well done by him. You can't actually contest him too well as a Lion and a Chen with no creep. This forces Solo all the way, or Roger, sorry, all the way back to get a Golem, but I just love how these teams read each other's movements. He knows the camp's going to be blocked, so he's already running back to his own jungle.
Yeah, and bringing in a Golem isn't a terrible thing. Actually enables diving, bringing in 3 extra stuns.
Look at this.
So it's actually quite a fun creep to gain at the early start. In fact, he's now, he's shattered 1 and picked up another. And now you've actually got, count them all, it's going to be 6 stuns? 5 stuns. 5 stuns in total.
And you can always just take over another creep and then shatter the other Golem, and all of a sudden you have 5 total.
They're looking for it. Solid just needs to gain that initial stun. And they will have themselves a kill. The Observer Ward's giving them the information onto GH.
But this is good because they're zoning 3 heroes of Liquid. Slark got every denial on that last initial creep wave, and now it's pushing back into him. And now, maybe you can actually zone them off this hard camp to get a better creep for Roger.
Quite possible.
Look at this. It's exactly what they're doing as well.
They want to come over and fight. So send the Golems up first. In just a couple of seconds, those Shard Golems are going to disappear.
This is beautiful, though. You're just free farming a Slark. They don't actually need to find kills. If Liquid wants to sit at their tower, that's all fine.
How's the bottom lane looking? So Mind Control is at 10-1. He actually hits the arrow. Pasha has to jump away. Mind Control leaps forward, looking for the kill. Leaps again. Got the creep wave with him. Pasha really, really low. He's going to have to Mango to shield crush back out, so he's got enough life to survive. Doesn't have the easy regeneration. And in fact, it's actually going to be a top lane kill onto Kuro. which is the result. You knew those golems were eventually going to go in and the Pounce Leash able to connect. While No One has been so aggressive against Miracle, got him to burn the salve a while ago. And No One, no extra Spirit Siphons up, but has Mango into Crypt Swarm if he can drop Miracle just down a little bit further. And now actually it's Miracle. Fairy Fire from No One must be consumed. And Miracle's bottle arrives. No One's got no other choice but to, well, I'll say to back off.
The Miracle Tinker is the big win condition for Liquid. If he has a great game, it doesn't matter how effectively VP's heroes can hunt him, because he can just shove lanes and eventually get to a point where, you know, 4th, 5th item, a Shiva's, a Hex. Slark really, that's what the counter is in this
Solo,
game.
he connects on the stun. This means they'll get the collab. The ET Stomp tries to create a little bit more space, but the Tomato doing some work. Paralyzing cast from Kura creates space from it. But it's Solo who's the one to die. Not to mention, no, he actually graded himself a different creep, so they don't even get the kill on the Hellbound.
You can see the Witch Doctor, though. Kuro's favorite counter, now that CM has been nerfed into oblivion, you just stun the creep. All of a sudden, for 5 seconds, Chen isn't really playing with a buddy.
This mid lane's been quite nice for Team Liquid. Like, the fact that Miracle's been able to keep No One at bay for a while probably is the reason, too, why we see Solo rotate in. And it's 11-7 against the 17-8. In favor of the Tinker. Dom's able to connect over on the Chen, but Tumman, long jump forward. Doesn't really have the extra range to keep up with Roger, and Solo lends the stun from the low ground.
You're okay with this, though. Again, it's buying a creep wave for Slark. You're going to get all the denies in the wave, maintains lane control.
Roger gets a new creep. GH going to go for the stomp, able to control that with the ensnare, and GH, oh, very low on mana. Roger's going to keep the body block going, so Solo can follow up with the Hex. He should have that stun available. Yeah, he does. So GH, stun will connect, and GH thought he was the one going to kill off Roger. But because he used the stomp so early and then got cancelled, it's the other way around.
The thing is up top. You leave the Slark alone against Monkey King, you can't really do much. Any melee hero against MK is going to feel pressure. You want to be able to offensively target him as he has very low base armor, but if you can't kill the Monkey King or threaten him, he just dominates your lane. But his supports run back over, they're going to control the bounty runes.
Yeah.
Pasha gets bottom. Will he get both? Mind controls him, a bit of trouble. Jukes the arrow.
Yeah, Jukes the arrow is the top lane where the ET Spirit stomps out. Able to get the paralyzing cast down to Solo. Ramses in behind him, starts with the Dark Pack. Wants to make sure he can pounce away and up to the bounty rune. Doesn't want to really be involved in these fights just yet. You don't have the level 6 as Roger trying to send Solo back after TPing in towards that top lane. Morana's died in the meantime. Ramses cannot keep the chase going. Morana dying actually underneath the tier 1 tower. Pasha was able to grab the rune and charges later, finds the kill.
Yep. That change, now that bounty runes give you a full bottle. He was quite low, but buys bottle, gets 6 charges. All of a sudden you're threatening Morana and he's still able to stick around and stay strong in lane. It's a rough area for mind control. You take so much spell damage from Pasha and your HP pool is so low.
You were saying during the draft too that Morana is very heavily countered in this game, so you had no other choice but to put it into a sacrificial role.
Yep.
So mind control dying only once in 6 minutes is probably a pretty good thing for him.
Yeah, when you're playing with a Drow, it's easy to just throw the Morana mid, but no Drow this game. You're playing up against a Slark, a bunch of silences and stuns. It's a really difficult game.
In through the rear, start with the Hex. The Stomp's going to catch everything apart from No One. Where's the Spirit Siphon up? Solo will get the stun off. Miracle's low on life, but here comes Pasha. The Rolling Thunder in through the rear, going to bounce through. GH jumping over towards Kuro. Pasha already has the double kill. Did they have an extra club control? No. Kuro into the Moonlight Shadow. Invis and away.
A great rotation from Pasha. No vision on that side of the map. They know Liquid's been playing topside with both supports for nearly the entire game. You can even see their wards. There's one on the top side of mid. There's another one on that top rune, top bounty rune spot rather. But no one that can actually sniff out Pasha's on his way over. And as you can say, the rolling, he's so much damage, and the tips come out too.
Yep. Let him know who's great. Obviously, in this case, VP. But Tubman's going to be careful now. Ramses has hit level 6, so Shadow Dance is up. That normal harassment that the Tubman gets, unless it actually turns into a kill, it's not that same level of power you were discussing previously that the Monkey King has over other melees. And this is why we thought the Slark, the draft from VP is so good.
Well, the 2 games Liquid's won, it felt like they had a significant draft advantage. In this one, VP is either ahead or at the very least equal. And who knows who the better team is, but this should certainly be a game to test that. Stomp mid, but oh, he barely got mid.
So low, but Pasha, hello! In from the side, starts the rolling thunder, wants to bounce around in the phone book. Bounces back off the wall into the lane. Mind Control has already jumped forward. Pasha jumps through a little bit further. Meanwhile, up on top, they do kill off Matumba, but it's in the mid, that stomp. It's going to connect. Pangolier, he can jump away. He just needs to wake up from his sleep. It's the Crypt Swarm. It's all three heroes. Mind Control, one more attack from no one will do it. Mind Control up the hill. He had enough regeneration coming in from Kuro's 1 point in Voodoo Restoration to survive.
Seems just so evenly matched. Like, watching the decision making, like, I cannot explain to you how hard Dota is of a video game. The critical thinking in such a small amount of time that all of these players manage to output just boggles my mind. There's a reason these two teams on top of the DPC, but the first time they've ever met in a major. And man, 4.5 years in Dota, it's my first ever major final. Could not ask for a better one.
You got it, man. BP want to keep it going good. Smoked up over on Roger. They've got Solo as well, but the team is breaking up a little bit. They now get information on Miracle. This is why GH is hanging around near that obs. BP know they can't just walk up the same path they had last time. Both GH as well as Kuro are babysitting Miracle, trying to get him into, well, at this point they're just trying to reach him to Soul Ring. He's got the money for it. But the BTs is the critical thing Miracle needs, because how are you meant to turn these lanes around until you've got a Tinker who can be global?
Yep. And something that Tinker needs is his tier 1s. The top one's already down. The mid one's going to be under pressure very soon. And as you said, he's still the full recipe away from bots. Tinker is not the same hero.
He's so ready to jump in. Pasha, Rolling Thunder is out. Going to jump in towards the mid. Master Machine's cover's already down. They saw him coming thanks to the Observe Ward. That's why Moonlight Shadow, ET Stomp is down. The Hellbear Smashes, the one that cops the main brunt of it, is Miracle. Master Machines is wearing off. You've got the stun quickly. Solo being sent back to base. More of the distraction underneath the tier 1 tower.
He got the deny on the Ursa Warrior as he was ported back to base. It's the little things. They do all of them. Great dive, great response from Liquid, the immediate Moonlight Shadow. But the key is that VP Ramses, he's been just playing this top side of the map. That tower is dead. He has total dominance of this area. He keeps farming his own jungle. Now he's going to go for the top bounty rune.
Yeah, she's already got the Shadow Amulet coming on the courier. So Claymore is the only thing required. It's surprised that she went for the Shadow Amulet over something else. No one going after Miracle. Needs more damage, and Exorcism and Crypt Swarm would do it. No! TP out just in time. Crash and Burns on the gang, but can now turn the Exorcism into pushing in mid lane. ET Spirit coming out, no one. Too quick with the phase boost, moves a little bit further north. Rockets will fly. No one will be okay with this for now. He's got 3-1 charges and will get the life back from the end of the Exorcism.
In the meantime, they're still playing both side lanes. And the Slark Monkey King matchup, now that Slark has the item advantage, that's where the Shadow Amulet comes in, because you just regen after you pop that invis on yourself. Monkey King can't really threaten Slark anymore.
Bottom lane, Pasha wants to begin. And they already started the rotation, Team Liquid. Monkey King came in, turned into a tree, now bounce up. He wants to go in and down. Angle there, wow, Pasha. Second hit with a swashbuckle into the shield crash, gets the kill, and a lot of that damage, they didn't really find it into the Wukong command, but this disengaged for VIRTUS.pro. The slap down will be on Solo. One chance don't give him the life, but Pango is able to escape and TP away to safety. Meanwhile, the Tinker was under assault. GH going to miss once again with the stomp onto no one, but laser and rockets, Miracle so low. No one wants to go back in again. He's still blinded, but he'll use the Spirit Siphon and Crypt Swarm to do the work. And then looks over towards GH. Won't have that. Gets the silence. He will onto Mind Control. Hello! Solo has arrived once again. Now get the stun and the control. And Death Prophet sent back by the Chen.
Yep, for the 5th or 6th time this game. And Ally gets that free trip back to base. And that little efficiency adds up. It's 20-30 seconds where instead of running back, now you just heal up, pour it in immediately.
Well, you already poured it in to go for that kill. So you will have to walk back for this. But it's still, as you said, good efficiency nonetheless.
Better a one-way ticket than none at all.
Yeah. Ramses is now on the hunt. Shadow Blade is completed. Yep. He's in the dire jungle looking for anyone that's trying to farm up, and you know what he's going to be looking for. Yep. He's looking for the Tinker.
There's a ward
Bottom lane, Pasha's on the run. The slapdown's good, and with the Maledict, they have that kill. Pasha, no matter how far you jump away with a shield crash, you're going to try and Rolling Thunder. Dodge the damage. Miracle, there's the catch out over on Ramses, and he gets out of the Master Machines to survive, and Pasha just Rolling Thundered off any bit of damage from the Maledict.
Yep. Great ward. Solo on point once again, gives vision of the shrine area, and what do you know, Slark does that great move where you cut through the tier 2, tier 3 of Dire at nighttime, immediately finds the Tinker. And look at Miracle's net worth, man. He's 500 above Chen. He's 0-4.
Yeah. And it's the critical thing, like, it's the items. You got Bottle, you got Soul Ring, but without the BTs, there's no way he can turn into recovery yet. He needs to be able to move in and out of the base freely to the front lines. But even doing that, now that Slark has had such a great start, like, he's going to get hunted. Solo's going to hit level 6 soon, so you get the burst damage from him. No one's going to be pressuring the lanes because the death prop is just so powerful. Almost a Yule Scepter for her. I love Pasha. He's just gone for this casual javelin. Not even finishing it up, and then going to go into the Blink Dagger. All about positioning now. He's got 1,300 gold. Ramses walks up, finds Matumba. Matumba tries to hide himself as a tree, goes into the Wukong command, but Pasha has already taken him out. Now you go into Song of the Siren. All right, no, it's Rolling Thunder. Everyone just looks like they're asleep. It's basically the ET work. Pasha rolls forward, gets it done over on Kuros. They've got the control, they've got the kills.
Dude, that javelin just paying for itself already. So cheap, and it gets the proc chance on every swashbuckle hit, so you get lucky sometimes. It's a easy 200 bonus magical damage, and your Q and W already do so much.
Radiant's middle tower.
That bottom tier 1 town 2 was denied.
Yep.
So Liquid don't even get the gold from it.
Yeah, in the meantime, Roger's just dominating the top half of the map. He places a ward. There's one of the best wards you can place in this top Dire area of the map. You see the shrine, you see the tower. So much control.
With all this control, Miracle, yeah, here we go again. Here's the ultimate question. Will Miracle be able to afford BTs by the end of this game? Because this ganking rate is going to be difficult. Okay, by 20 minutes.
This is the thing. This is a Slark game where if you're ahead, it is free. The only way Ramses is going to dive is if he makes some sort of mistake, because right now they just don't have the lockdown to take him out. Everything is purgeable. The thing they needed was a Tinker Hex. That's a long, long ways away. The Mirana Invis comes out.
As Moonlight Shadow going to close the distance onto Roger. Miracle's right on top of him. I don't know if he wants to do anything with it. Miracle's got some help coming. Moonlight Shadow, it's just the full setup, all the information they need. They can catch out Roger, slap down, and they have the magical burst. Goodbye, Chen, but also goodbye, Mirana.
Yep, as soon as that pounce lands, that's a dead Mirana. Entire game.
I think they may have really wanted to give that kill over to Miracle on the top. He needs that money. He needs those BTs. Putting into the Monkey King is going to help a Desolator build from Matumba.
So even though Roger goes down there, his pressure up top, just thanks to the creeps, not only do you do a little bit of chip damage to the tower, but it forces the supports of Liquid to go and recover that lane. Look at how much space it buys.
Goodbye, Kuro.
Yep.
2, 3, 4 hits, and that's through Voodoo Restoration.
And this is what VP wants to do. They get this mid tower for free just thanks to all the pressure around the map, and when the waves are cleared, Slark can immediately run onto the enemy side of the map and hunt. And he's going to continue to be successful because, again, there's no counterplay to him, and he kills almost everyone on Liquid in a pounce.
Miracle is ticking out the gold. 1 gold at a minute to get the BTs. He was sitting in base for a little bit just because he knew if he went out and got killed by the Slog, he would just be kicking himself. And now he's still just sitting here with BTs available, wondering where is it safe to go. There's currently no options for him.
I mean,
could D-ward at least for GH, so he'll get rid of that observed ward that's inside the Dire jungle, and they got rid of the other obs, which was watching over the Trinity camp on the bottom.
DP, look at this, Invis mid on Solo, looking for a setup. It'll just sent you down already.
Arrow's gonna be off target. Death ward's too far away. The wands keep him alive, and he hit him with the Starstorm. Infused raindrops, bottom lane, Miracle. Well, I said like he was looking for an option, something he could do. ET Spirit comes in as well as the clap, but Pasha so quick to get away, already has that Blink Dagger. And he's being sent back to TP out, Finger of Death. That increased the armlet charge.
I mean, the Penitence comes out first and then the Finger on top. You can see he's just waiting for it. 36% increased damage. Throw in a nuke for 600 or 7, sorry, 600 magical
He
damage.
just jumped straight into him. He's in the middle of 3 heroes. Ramses is here as well. Will jump in through the rear. Does Pasha have enough life to survive? Of course he does. He turns around for a 3-man swashbuckle. The damage is so high. Mind control against the TP. They have the damage to kill him before the TP can complete. And GH trapped in the trees. The penitent man shall not pass. Ramses, a triple kill for this Slark. And this is going bad to worse to severely troublesome.
How to beat a Tinker 101. Gank him in lane, kill his towers. All of a sudden he's playing catch up, and instead of being able to aggressively shove lanes, he's just desperately trying to go wherever you are not. And there's so many heroes that can hunt him. Now Solo's up top. I'm sure there's another teammate ready to TP as well. If he finds this disable.
What's going to happen once the blink daggers are up? And Solo, he just walks in, starts with the Hex. The Death Prophet is coming over. Solo's taking way too much damage from the Master Machines. The Rocket will connect. Miracle, he still has rearm and more than enough mana to get back to base, so just a little bit late in the VP support.
Dude, it's a good play from Solo, but Miracle recognizes that if he sits still, he's going to catch that stun, repositions, and while he does get CC'd, drags Solo even further into the march, ensures he stays alive. Probably a little over-aggressive from Solo, but even though he died, his team just went up another tick on that gold lead from 11 to 12k.
Yeah, it's with the death of the tier 1 tower on bottom. Attempted denial was there from mind control, but there was too much of a creep wave just pushing him in. With all these tier 1 towers, real estate on the Team Liquid side of the map is getting very limited.
Slark mid.
Hunting again. Echo Saber is up. Wondering too, like with his item build, like Kuro's always had the upper hand when it comes to vision. Against the Slark, that's real difficult to do. Do you get the early gem onto Ramses? Do you make it so Liquid are blind?
You can't. You're not able to take a team fight. I think if you get lucky, maybe VP buys a gem and you can steal it, but that seems unlikely.
Well, I was thinking from VP, like actually putting it on the Slark, getting rid of all of Kuro's vision.
Too risky. You don't want to give Liquid the chance to have it back. You wait, maybe with Aegis you can get one.
Okay. 4-man smoke up. Miracle's hiding inside the tree. Solo knows exactly where he is. They have the observer board looking for it. Jump down. That tree is tree-on-tree action. Matumban going to go into the ultimate. Roshan so low. It's killed by the Radiant. Ram gets the Aegis, the Immortal. Mind Control's going to die so quickly. Kuro directly after him. No one's the one with the double kill. Using that exorcism to find exactly what they need. TP back. Ched's able to survive. Solo, man, I can't believe he's alive. 19 HP. Matumban can't even kill off the Lion. He's tried so hard. But GH is also going to die too. Triple kill for no one. Miracle can at least push out the mid lane, but 23 to 5, 14k advantage. The Aegis wasn't even burned on Ramses. And he's got 3.3k gold after that fight.
Yeah, I can't even tell you what item he's going to buy because there's a lot of options in this kind of game. No. Not that one.
Sustain is all he probably needs.
Yep. They're going to get 4 bounty runes once again on VP. And this is the dominance. This is why this mid-game is so important, because the 15, 20, 25-minute bounty runes, the Roshan, there's very little objective gold anymore. Tower gold was nerfed. Like, hero kills are nerfed. It's just getting these bounties.
You see also VP itemizing to try and finish the game. Pipe of Insight now completed over on no one. So a large amount of that damage that you're trying to find from the Tinker or the Mirana is now just going to be heavily negated. And this allows them to go high ground. Obviously, we're only 21 minutes into the game, and the Slark is still a picker. Yeah. But it feels like that's the kind of momentum they're itemizing for. And Ramses found a target. Leap. Oh. At least walks out of the leash.
It's still hard to just walk into Liquid's powers. They have the Tinker to spam March with the Blink now. You can catch a Mirana arrow like ET, Tinker, Monkey King. It's very difficult to just walk into the Thunderdome when these teams set up.
Pasha. Well, up goes GH. Pasha having that disabling Yule Scepter will kill off GH. Yeah. They were looking for a fight in mid lane VP as well underneath their own sentry, but Liquid never obliged.
And it's risky because you see the ET build 4-2-0. He has max level stomp. He hits that on 2 or 3 heroes, arrow to follow. Never know what could happen. Just keep finding pickoffs, skirmishes, control the map, control the bounties. BKB Ramses, here he comes.
Yeah, straight through the rear. Ramses, 3, 4 with the Dark Fate. That takes the kill. That's a perfect rolling thunder to isolate both Miracle as well as Matumba. They both got hit by this.
That was so cool from Pasha too. He bought the Yules, self-Yules on top of the Tinker so that his Rolling Thunder would hit again after he had already positioned himself on top. Then immediately, QW, Tinker's dead. No one, of course, with the silence on top, but really wasn't even necessary. He's still got his ultimate ready to go, and you might just threaten high ground here.
Yeah. Pipes burn in 35 seconds, and the Observer one. They saw where Matumba was. They didn't break the tree, however. So he only got the stun from the Earth Spike. But Ramses wants to be that frontliner again. Let no one's exorcism do the work. The Chen groups are holding back for the moment.
I like the positioning. You don't want Monkey King to get a free ultimate off to defend his tower. Tinker's still dead.
ET Spirit can't find the stomp is exactly looking for. They at least have the stuns and silences over on the Death Prophet. But Exorcism just out of range. Ramses jumps in. The tier 3 tower is so low. No one just wants the end of Exorcism to do the work. Fortification, it's available for the dire side, but do you really want to burn it for the very last moments of your mid-tier 3 tower, which they could just, like, it's in deny range already. It's that low.
And what can you do? You see Roger also changed up his item build, recognizing just how far ahead they are. Instead of saving for an Ags, he picked up the mech.
They're TPing out already. Solo wants to pick up the Blink Dagger, so they need to give him the top lane. And there's the ping. Pink is TPing out, but then again in mid lane, you thought they were out, but the jump comes forward from the slot, right on top of mind control. Wukong command by Matarman, at least he got the back lines of VP. And okay, no, he's got nothing. He's got absolutely nothing. He's got everyone from VP killing him. Doesn't even matter when the line disappears. Ramsey leaps over the hill, finds mind control and puts him far, far away. The tier 3 tower is gone. Now they'll burn the fort. And GG, not even 24 minutes on the clock. And we are going to a game 5 in this grand final.
Could it happen any other way?
No, that was stylish. That was